Hold on one second. We're about to get to the bottom of this, ladies and gentlemen. This don't make no sense whatsoever. Welcome to the Dark Waters channel, where we explore mysteries, figure out the truth, dive into politics, and anything else you want to know about. That's what we're doing over here, baby. Let's go. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is James Williams. Right now, my screen is black. It ain't supposed to be black, but it is. I hope everybody's doing well today. I got an answer on Mr. Rogers. Somebody said that Mr. Rogers was ex-military. I'm hoping they are true. I'm going to do some research on that myself. People in the comments tend to be wrong, but hopefully you're right, because I have one of the smartest audiences alive. I want to start the news, ladies and gentlemen, with a few things. And we'll be going down a rabbit hole today, if you're okay with going down rabbit holes. I think we can call ourselves rabbit hole explorers. But I want to start with giving some insight into why Pete Hegseth is the number one target for being destroyed. Pete Hegseth is getting hit the same way that Donald J. Trump got hit. You wonder why? Because Pete Hegseth is messing up the moolah, baby. You know, there's been these sayings where people be like, man, you know, the white man in the CIA was the one that trafficked the drugs into the black community. Remember everybody talking about the CIA, Freeway, Ricky Ross? Well, if he's blowing up drug boats, which he is, he has disrupted their finances. In fact, many ways, Venezuela is the most important thing to taking down the deep state right now, because you're taking down their drug trafficking, which is the only way to truly cut the budget of the CIA. If you cut off all the drug trafficking, drug smuggling, then you're cutting off the budgets for re-election campaigns. It's a blockade of the money. That's why you see Trump sending all the boats down there and circling them, because it's a blockade of the moolah. It slows down their money. And there's no telling how it's affecting China or Russia, because I'm not mistaken, China gives all the parts or the ingredients for fentanyl and ships those ingredients into Venezuela. But nonetheless, it's a blockade on the finances, ladies and gentlemen, of the deep state. And so, of course, the deep state's going to be talking trash about Pete Hegseth. Now, I'm not sure if you guys are aware of this, but we're probably in the most dangerous time we've ever been in. And I know people say this all the time, but this really is the most dangerous time we've ever been in. Because Donald has to decide if he's going to go in and strike the heart of the deep state. This is the proverbial stake into the vampire's heart. This is not like chopping an arm off that'll grow back later. This is not shooting a vampire and it recovers. This is driving the stake into the heart. And I'm not sure if he's going to do it. I believe that he will do it. It must be done. But it's why you see all this ire, this anger, this agitation, this targeting of Pete Hegseth.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that, May. It's a spiritual collapse around the world. That's abundantly clear. Not only is it not protecting yourself, it is storing up greater hatred that will one day be visited upon you. And I'm all for spiritual renewal, but I don't know where that's going to come from. The religious leaders are either, like my own, a big disappointment, or they are proactively evil. I mean, the idea that Hegseth and Donald Trump are going to lead spiritual renewal is, of course, for the birds. It's a complete hogwash. Nothing could be less Christian. In fact, there was a demonstration the other day in England at which the theme was that England is a Christian country, and these spitting, snarling, micturating drunkards who were behind the banner have never set foot willingly in a church in their whole lives. They've never said a prayer, and they're shills for Zionism in Israel, which believes that Jesus is suppurating in a pit of his own excrement in hell.
Yeah, I don't know where that clip came from. I want to apologize. That wasn't. I thought that was something else, and I hit it. And I don't. Hold on a second. Let me pause for a second. Go figure out who the hell this guy is, because that's. I want to do the guy right and not take him out of context. No, I'm not gonna pause. Let me say this, and I'm gonna be clear. No, I can't tell you what Peak Headset's relationship with the Lord is. I can't tell you what his relationship with Donald Trump's relationship with the Lord is. I can read indications as to what they say and what they do as it pertains to their relationship with the Lord. But here's what I know about our faith of Christianity. You see, once you've accepted Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, and you covered in his blood, which I believe Pete Hegseth for sure has done that. Donald, I think he has. I'm not sure how, I'm not sure. I know he has, but Donald's a little bit different, and I'll explain why. But once you've been covered in the blood, the Lord uses you as you are. This concept and this notion that people have to pass a purity test for them, I'm sorry, ladies, is bullshit. Somebody was, I can't believe you said bullshit because you're supposed to be a Christian. I don't have to pass your purity test. Now, I'm not supposed to embarrass the Lord. So I can't be up here every day cursing and screaming and beating on tables and throwing stuff around and abusing my wife and getting drunk. And I'm not supposed to embarrass him because he's my king in the kingdom in which I reside. But the purity test is not based upon your emotion. The purity test is not based upon your eyesight. It's his purity test. What he says to do when he says to do it. And I ain't worried about no man and what a man can do unto my body. I got to worry about the one who can condemn my soul to hell. With that being said, swinging to Donald Trump. You see, Donald Trump dancing through the minefield in which he's dancing through, right? He don't say the right things, but somehow he stumbles upon the right solution. That's how you know the hand of God is on a person. Well, he didn't stumble upon the right solution. How the hell you know what he actually stumbled upon? If he was upon any bad solution, we would be in Kamala Harris territory. Are we in Kamala Harris territory? No, we not. But I don't like the fact that he didn't do this. I don't like the fact that there's a lot of things he didn't do. If I was him, there would be a lot of things that I would do differently. Or at least I say I would do them differently, but I have no clue or no way of knowing if I would actually do those things differently. But the point I'm making is, your ass is still alive today. You are not in prison. The borders are closed. Things are going better than they were. And to say that the whole satanic kingdom, New World Order government system is pursuing the American people, and the one standing there with armor and a shield on is him, and you have an opportunity. Like, ain't nothing really blown up, no new 9/11s, no planes crashing into buildings. You got a gazillion Muslims in here, and a gazillion Muslims ain't just marching down the street kicking in doors. And like, to say things is pretty decent, I would have to say that Donald Trump is being led by the Lord in some way, shape, or form, because he navigates these things almost like a da-dun-da-dun navigating problems, but a smart da-dun-da-dun. And I'm just keeping it real with you. Like, he ain't no stupid person, but at the same time, the way he navigates through these things is like da-dun, 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 and you get aggravated. Now, he has great people who push him in the right direction, great people who get him the right information, great people who penetrate the veil of the Ice Queen and get past her Ice Queen veil and get him information. But here's the thing, when a man gets the information, he makes the right decision. But anyway, I wasn't supposed to be talking about it. I was supposed to be talking about Pete Hegseth and why they targeting Pete Hegseth. So let's recap. Targeting Pete Hegseth. Why? Because he's screwing over their money. Because they can't get their dope money. If you look out here in these streets, there's droughts everywhere. You don't see people running around with the money phone no more on the internet. Money phone. You want to know why? Because there's a drought out here in these streets. Because Donald J. Trump is surrounding a drug bull. So they can't get their dope money. Don't say that, James. Don't say that either, James. That's why there's a drought. So if there's a drought on the street, that drought is even 10 times greater out there in the Congress and the Senate when it comes to their drug money. Now, the other thing is you got the Cayman Islands, you got all their money that you're trying to launder back and forth. That is the central area for all money laundering. And so they pissed. I'm sorry, they pissed off because they getting screwed over. So we'll see. Something about to pop off out here in these streets. Moving on to the next thing. Now, I want to talk about the base level of morals in a nation. Base level. How do you determine a base level of morals in your nation? The base level of morals in your nation is determined by how you treat children, particularly how you treat little girls. That is how the base level morals in your civilization or your nation is determined. You're going to see this. It's women and children. The treatment of women and children shows the base level of the morals of your nation. So when you take the water boy nations and water girl nations like the Somalians who are here, who have their women covered up head to toe because they're a bunch of sloths from Goonies, a bunch of inbred retards with long elongated heads like Nephilim. And hey, you guys, and they got to cover up all the women because they're going to rape everybody out here. They climbing in the windows. They snatching your people up. They raping everybody around here. Hide your kids. Hide your wife. That's when we knew they was first coming, when Anton Dodson was talking about it. That's when they first came here. That's what Anton Dodson was talking about. Hide your kids. Hide your wife. They raping everybody around here. But it took off in the hood first, and now it's done got to the suburbs. But the point I'm making is this. So we judge our society about how we treat the weaker people, the homeless, women, and children. So if you're smuggling children, wickedness. If you're selling women in slavery and raping women, wickedness. Get it? If you're not doing your best to feed the homeless, do anything by the homeless, wickedness. And I get tired of people talking about America like, oh, America is the most wicked nation. And then you have random acts like this guy. I want you to listen to this dude right here. I want you to listen to this brother. And I want you to listen to the anger and frustration in his voice because he finds this little girl walking down the street on her way to school with no shoes on, no hat on in the wintertime. And I want you to look at this. And some people may look at this dude right here and say, well, man, he could have the worst criminal background ever. And he may not, but let's just say he's got the worst background ever. But this is when you see his heart. You see it when it counts. This is the heart of America. I don't care what nobody say. There's very few people in America where there used to be. Nowadays, since they brought all the Somalis in and the Muslims in, they might just kidnap the girl and bring her to where they need to bring her to, especially these Muslims they brought in lately. They might just take the little girl. You know what I'm saying? But there's very few American people that's just gonna walk by a child. They don't in the freezing cold. No matter if the child black or white, they're like, "Yo, what you doing out here in this cold weather?" You see what I'm saying? And somehow we come under this condemnation as a nation that we wicked. Did we have wicked leadership? Yes. Joe Biden was a wicked leader. Do I believe that Joe Biden won the election? No. Venezuela helped him steal the election. And then he did the same, that he personified wickedness, him and his pedophile son. But that's not the American people.
Bro, it's so cold, man. Who fucking daughter is this, bro? Thank God I synced her. So how old is you? 6? Man. If that ain't crazy, bro. Daughter is this, bro. I need y'all motherfucking ass beat. I tell you that. Whoever daughter this is, y'all let y'all daughter walk out here with no fucking hat, no shoes. Thank God I fucking synced her. There's sick ass people out here. Thank God I seen this little girl, bro. And this shit got me so mad and angry. This shit got me so mad and angry, bro. Nigga got this little precious little girl just out here walking by her fucking self, bro. I ain't want to put her in my truck, bro. So I got out and walked with her, made sure she got to where the fuck she going. Bro, motherfuckers got this little girl out here just walking, bro. It's fucking crazy, bro. And this sick ass motherfuckers out here and people don't fucking care. That'd be the crazy part. Motherfuckers be out here don't give a fuck. I hate people like that. I hate people. I hate people with a fucking passion, bro. Oh, I'm so happy I seen this little girl. I'd have felt so bad she would have ended up on the news. I don't play about fucking kids, man. Bro, I just seen her walking, bro. She said she'd go to this school. I'm trying to make sure she'd go to this school. I already called the police. I'm gonna sit here and make sure because if she not, I'm going to the police go.
Yep, I got you. Baby girl, who's the teacher? Miss Alexander? Okay, go on up there.
That's the teacher.
I'm gonna have to tell the principal about that.
Yeah, man, because whoever her fucking parents is, that's fucked up, bro.
Okay.
Look, I just seen her walking. I don't know what. I'm trying to make sure she is student here.
Okay. Yeah, she is.
She is.
Uh-huh.
Y'all know her?
Yep.
All right.
Okay,
Appreciate
thank you,
it.
baby.
She probably scared because she been walking for about 10 blocks.
Where's your sister?
She probably scared. So many people just pulled up on that little girl. I'm so happy I seen her.
Thank you, baby. God gonna bless you too.
I'm so happy I seen her.
Yes, thank you. You safe now, okay? Is your sister here with you? She already came through?
Damn, that's crazy, man. I didn't want to put her in my truck because I didn't look like I was trying to do.
We on the same type of time.
Damn, dog. Damn, that shit just hurt me, bro. This motherfucker sick as fuck out here, dog. Got their kids out here walking, man. God damn, that's crazy, dog.
Now, why did I take the time to show you this clip? Why did I interrupt your morning by showing you this clip of this dude walking this little black girl to school? It's dual purpose. Number one, I want you to understand that all this rigmarole and all this ruckus and talking that's on the news ain't got nothing to do with what's on the ground. It ain't got nothing to do with what's in the hearts of the American people. The majority of the American people will feel this exact same way no matter what skin color that little girl was. Majority. Now, you got racist black people, you got racist white people. If you say black people ain't racist, use a line SOB. Let's just keep it real. But they ain't even the majority. And then, however, normally when it comes to children, all that stuff melts away because it's an innocent child. And you know, for that child to be in that situation, somebody neglected that child. Now, why is this important? Because somehow, some way, there are individuals inside our nation who are under the impression, and I want you to understand, they're under the impression that when it comes to the children of our nation, the children of our nation, not the ones that they drug over here for sex trafficking and slavery that they disappeared in the dungeons. The children of our nation, the sons and daughters of our neighborhood, that we won't crack your damn head wide open. And I'm just trying to tell you, the American people, the American men will split your head to the damn white meat over a child. I'm sorry. The difference is because the foundation of this nation is a Christian nation, and it's in the foundations, violence ain't always the thing you resort to first. It's in the foundation. Now, some families don't have a Christian foundation. So you're running to a neighborhood that has no foundation. Their foundation is death and murder and destruction, and then violence is going through the roof. But overall, the nation as a whole has a foundation of righteousness and justice. And I'm just trying to tell you, guys, if you look at what's going on in Europe, knowing that what happens in Europe is ahead of what happens in America, when we get to the point in America where what's happening in Europe is happening in America every day, people gonna get their heads cracked. Period. It already started happening in New York. There was dudes that was child molesters on the block, and everybody whooped them. Beat him to a bloody pulp. Beat him into they was beating the dude into the damn ambulance. And I understand the frustration and anger people feel when it pertains to this. But I'm trying to tell you guys, when you know the heart of the people, when you know the heart of the nation, and more importantly, when you know the heart of the hood, you understand, no, this is not going to go the way people think it's going to go. Now, we need to go to Breitbart News. Teenage Afghan illegal migrants convicted of raping a 15-year-old girl in England. This is what happens when you bring in people from cultures that are incestuous cultures, where they commit incest. I'm just going to keep it real. We need to stop beating around the bush and just say it like it is. They commit incest. Their foundation of their culture is iniquity and wickedness. That's the foundation of their culture. We need to stop BSing and playing around and beating around the bush. If you sleeping with your damn cousin, committing incest, you are in iniquity. These bloodlines have been steeped in iniquity for thousands of years. Thousands of years. Hold on. Let's just give you the biblical breakdown of it so you can look at it. And I was supposed to not go ham this morning, but my spirit is telling me go hard. It's telling me go hard, go ham, harder than let these know who I am. When everybody and their mama sleeping around with each other in the family bloodline, you get tards. And then because of that iniquity, you receive these urges, these demonic sexual urges. And then when that demonic, because of that bloodline iniquity that's been fomented to this bloodline for thousands of years, now that iniquity becomes the law. So when they sit there and tell you, oh, if there's a woman who's uncovered, you can rape her, that's because iniquity has become law to them. It's their law to practice iniquity. Now, I would go through and show you the video, but I don't think we should show a video of a 15-year-old girl being led away into the woods by these two clowns. The point I'm making to you is this. As America approaches the threshold of this, we're in the stabbing phase right now. I don't know if you noticed that. All the stabbings. We're in the stabbing phase of the invasion. The stabbings are going to intensify. That's what happened in Europe the first time. It was a whole bunch of stabbing. It starts with the stabbings, then it comes the molestations and the rapes. But we're in the stabbing phase, okay? We're in the stabbing phase of the takeover at this point. So when we get to this phase, this next phase, which is the phase where they go after people's daughters and wives, is when I fully expect the American men to snap, to lose it. I'm talking about lose it. And I fully expect these people going to start to, you better move it. You gotta move it. You gotta move it. You gotta move it. Yeah. Because there's a difference between America and a difference between in England. We clutching over here. And I'm just trying to tell you, wives and children are the reason why men will go sit down. I'm sorry. Men are willing, I can tell you right now, I'm willing to go sit. Yeah, I'm willing to go sit. And I think majority of men are willing to go sit. Now, we pray to the Lord that we don't have to deal with that kind of stuff because it's devastating, but I'm willing to sit. You can say what you want about me. Don't mess with my bloodline. I'm going to go sit. Whatever I got to go to when I sit, hey, it's worth the price. And that's what we get into. That's what we get into. Now, how do we stop it? Quite frankly, you got to keep Trump in office and encourage him to stay on these people's behinds. And more importantly, we got to find. Ooh, excuse me. Oh my goodness, that coffee did that to me. That iced coffee did. I'm sorry. Excuse me. More importantly, we got to deal with these leftist retards that are out here defending these people. There's not a lot of them though, but they're out there defending them. And when we put it into the dumb liberal defense, the DLD, the dumb liberal defense.
This week, the Department of Homeland Security.
Sorry, when we put a defense to the DLD, the dumb liberal defense of immigrants, we'll be fine. The only reason why they even have a chance is because the DLD, the dumb liberal defense. They like the damn Justice League. They might as well have like superhero outfits on, the DLD, and be sitting there flying like this, the dumb liberal defenses. You know what I'm saying? We might as well call them the Dumb Liberal Defense League, the DLDL, because that's what it is. Running around screaming at ICE agents, doing all kind of ignorant, retarded stuff. In this case, this story right here, Somali refugee who was detained because he was out here stealing cars, shoplifting, doing all these other crimes. The neighbor says, "Oh, he's the friendliest guy that I know." What? What? Break yourself, fool. Break yourself.
Security's Operation Metro Surge hits the Twin Cities. The agency announcing ICE arrested 12 of the worst. Among them, this man, 46-year-old Abdul Qadir Sharif Abdi, who DHS describes as a current gang member.
How would you describe him?
I would describe Abdi as the friendliest guy that I know. He was.
You see what I'm saying? The DLD. Dumb Liberal Defense League, DLDL, Dumb Liberal Defense League. That's what they are. Look at it. I would describe him as the nicest guy that I know. Till he run up in you. Yeah, till he pull you to the side. Till he put that hand over that mouth like that. Then he ain't the nicest guy, But knowing her after he had violated her, he would still be knowing these people, liberals, not her, knowing the DLD. After they've been violated, they still would be innocent and sweet because they love their Somalians. They love their Muslims. Boy, they so good. Boy, they so sweet. They love them. They love them. What the hell, man? What the hell? You see, I had paused it, and I'm not sure what you saw. But let me say this to you. This is why I need to go to the office and get the other stuff. Because these kind of mistakes keep happening, man, and they're disturbing me. Let me stick to the point. Because this point matters and is valid no matter what. Now, I'm going to speak to you, ladies and gentlemen, as a black American. This is a black American. From a black American experience in America. Not from pointing fingers at you because you white. Not pointing fingers at you because you Asian. Not pointing fingers at anybody. This is not a finger pointing thing. So don't be sitting there getting in your damn feelings. I love you. Don't get in your feelings. I don't get in your damn feelings, okay? But I need you to understand how I feel about this. So you trying to tell me, my black behind, if I was Somalian, I could do all kind of crimes and get away with it? That's what you trying to tell me? If I had an elongated head, if I had an egghead that went way out over here to where I had Elian Omar got to wear that towel wrapped around the head. If I had an egghead where I had to wrap something around the back of my head like this, and my head protruded out like that, and I had a head like this, or I had a big booty on my forehead, some kind of birth defect because of iniquity in my bloodline where my auntie and my uncles were sleeping together with my mom and my dad or whatever the hell they be doing over there, then I could just get away with doing crime since in the 1990s? This Negro was getting away with doing in the 1990s? Do you know what the police was like in the 90s? No, you don't know what the police was like in the 90s. We had people like Flat Top and Curly Head in the 90s. You don't know nothing about that, go look them up. If you trying to sit up here and tell me that this Negro been getting away with this, he ain't even a Negro. I don't know what the hell he is. But this got to go. I'm sorry. This got to go. This has got to go. We can't be dealing with this crap. Now, I think I went a little too hard. I'm going to have to edit that last part about calling them raising heads. That's not becoming. It's not becoming. The Lord is right. He's like, son, you can't do that. Can't do that. So you ain't going to see this. You ain't going to see it. But I'm recording it like you going to see it. I'm sorry for calling people raising heads, even though they do have heads like raisins. I'm sorry, they do. They got all of them got booties on their forehead and booties on the back of their head. I don't know what else to tell you. I didn't decide for them to have sex with all their family members. It wasn't my decision for you to have the lowest IQ people on the planet. But nonetheless, I should tone it down a bit, is a suggestion I got. I want to swing over to Tim Pool. And there's a speculation about Tim Pool, and is he going to continue with his show? Is he really under threat of violence? Is he lying? Is he trying to get views? All this foolish speculation that's going on about Tim Pool. Here's how I take it. And then there's this everybody attack Candace Owens thing that's going on. You see, this generation of younger podcasters, they starting to act like, honestly, they're starting to act like the cryptic community act. Like there was this battle for who would have the throne in the cryptic community. I will be the ruler of the throne. I will be the king of rubble. Not understanding that the arguing, bickering, and fighting is burning down the quote unquote kingdom that you think you're going to have. And the smart person steps back and says, let them burn the whole kingdom down, and watches. And so what I'm doing right now is I'm watching them burn down the kingdom. Tim Pool goes out at Candace Owens talking about this person, that person talking about this person. Somewhere in the middle of it is the feds. We don't know who's the fed, who's not the fed, but I can guarantee you the feds is in the middle of this one. But this all stems from, and it all goes back to the murder of Charlie Kirk. It's the murder of Charlie Kirk. And had Charlie Kirk not been murdered, this chaos and this confusion would have not have ensued. So, with that being said, when Tim Pool says this, because I need to make sure you heard what he said.
So where does that leave us? We have 2 weeks left in the year before we go on our Christmas hiatus. You know, I'm not a big fan of any kind of hiatus. I would prefer just to work. But it is taxing, it is grueling, of course. And there's a lot of infrastructure here that requires me to work all day, every day, Monday to Friday, with some extra work on the weekends, usually meetings. And I'm probably going to have a stroke. My health's actually pretty good. My blood pressure is great. My resting heart rate is actually around 45. I exercise quite a bit. Haven't been able to skate in the past month or two, the holidays, and But we have to have these conversations, and I have been with the people, our contractors, people we work with, our vendors, partners. And one thing is clear: the violence will get worse. It is going to escalate. We cannot keep going as status quo. Something has to change. It may be that, as we described after the assassination of Charlie Kirk and the threat to come and shoot up our studio and our workplace, we asked, at what point do we say we can't do this anymore? The cost of running Timcast IRL studio and the projects around it exceeds the amount of money it brings in. That's just that breaking point, isn't it, for any business? If you need $100 to, run your restaurant, but you're only bringing 90, you go out of business. The issue? The cost isn't cameras or lights. The cost is security because of the escalation. It's an artificial cost to doing business that we can't balance. We can't forego security, but we can't sustain it either. So I've had some conversations with our partners, been talking with Rumble. There may be a solution, and it's going to be rapid change very quickly. We're going to have some emergency meetings. We've already had emergency meetings for obvious reasons. And there is a possibility that the 19th is the last episode of Timcast IRL. We are doing everything we can to make sure that's not going to be the case. It's no secret that I've been frustrated and disillusioned with a lot of people in politics, but that's no reason to walk away from doing our nightly show with a tremendous success. But the cost is not just money anymore. The cost is the safety of my family, myself, and there are many ideas we're floating around.
Now, let's just keep it real, ladies and gentlemen. Remember when Charlie Kirk was assassinated and they had all the diversions and distractions and the people walking away and the guy jumping off the building with no rifle and all this, and then it comes out that nobody gets in resolution to the death and murder of Charlie Kirk. See, this is what happens. What you're watching is history being made and the conspiracy play out in real time. Like, if you were alive during the Kennedy assassination, you probably remember these things. But for this generation, they're watching the ramifications of an assassination real time in motion. And here's the problem. Because there has been no resolution of who murdered Charlie Kirk, no one has been arrested. And everybody know it ain't the dude that they said it was. That's obviously not the truth. And that's because it's a conspiracy. And then on top of that, people know it was foreign governments involved. So now podcasters have to weigh in the balance. You have to say, I got to make an executive business decision because I can't depend on Donald Trump's administration to defend me. I mean, we can't. You look at Alex Jones and the issue he has with Ty Blanche. You have Charlie Kirk getting murdered and him being close friends with Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. So, when you're doing this, when you're talking about this, that basically you're doing this at your own risk. And then here's the worst part about it. For a Tim Pool or Alex Jones, they know if somebody roll up on them and they dump on the person can be breaking in their house. And they can be in the right and dump on the person. They're going to get ran through a circus. And then nobody's going to do anything about it. So this is the ramifications and repercussions of not standing up for your people. This right here is the Kash Patel effect. I'm sorry. It's the Kash Patel effect. That's what it is. When people know that their life can be taken, their family members' lives can be taken, and I'm pretty sure somebody threatened Tim Pool at this point in time. Like a legit threat. How does he tell you that someone pulled up on somebody at his staff and pointed a pistol at him and told him, y'all need to get off this show? He can't tell you that, but he can say somebody shot at my studio. He can say things to signal that he's been threatened. But the problem is the lack of intelligence and the competitiveness of other people who want to prove him wrong, to like, oh, he's a piece of shit, he's lying. No. Read between the lines, you damn idiots. Everybody can't tell you exactly what it is. This is the problem with the podcasting thing as a whole. They can't tell you everything. Telling you everything puts them in danger. So they're signaling to you, hey, I'm in danger. Hey, I'm worried. And even that signal is like the bat signal going into the sky, shining, saying, hey, there's a problem over here. And if I don't say nothing, then I could get my head bust. Now, I'm going to say this about Tim Pool. Tim Pool, you go off the air and they're still going to bust your head. So you might as well keep talking. Because they're going to still bust your head. That's the difference between dealing with honorable people and dishonorable people. You act like you dealing with like criminals with honor, like you dealing with the mafia or something. They'd be like, yo, if you decide you're going to get out there today, we're going to go ahead and we'll leave you alone, Give us a little piece of the money, a little bit of piece of the action, and we'll leave you be. No, you ain't dealing with that. You dealing with psychopaths. They don't give a damn. So you might as well stay on the air. And as it pertains to the cost of security and what it takes to do what you got to do, then you have to tell your people you got to raise the price. Yo, I need to raise the prices on certain things because we need to pay for security. And then you show them the security that you have. I'm sorry, that's just what you do. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You got to make it happen. But this really boils down to Cash Patel not doing his damn job. Cash Patel being a failure as it pertains to Charlie Kirk's murder. And whatever ungodly decision that was made to cover up what really happened to that man. I said this when Alex was up there. I was like, Alex Jones knows that his death will be an unsolved murder. And you got to understand this. To white people, pardon my language, not being mean, but to the average white person that's like of any influence, unsolved murders is like this big mystery. Now you take all of us people who, black, white, green, brown, whatever, that come from, areas where it's rough, unsolved mysteries ain't nothing to us. Unsolved murders is just what happens. You get murdered, you're unsolved murder. You're a file. That's in rural Alabama. That's in the inner cities of Louisiana, like New Orleans. That's in Houston and all the hoods everywhere. However you want to classify the hood of all socioeconomic calibers and racial makeups of hoods, unsolved murders, and it's just what it is. But when you bring an unsolved murder, when you bring a truly unsolved murder to the forefront of the podcast community, to the window, the walls of influence, everybody's like, oh hell, I would just be an unsolved murder. I would be a cover-up. Yes, you would be. There's no doubt about it. I'm sorry, as much as I like Donald Trump ain't solving nobody's murder. Because the one that should have been solved and the punishment that should have been met out because of the death of Charlie Kirk, I'm pretty sure there was some punishment. It should have been so drastic that nobody ever would have think about doing that to your supporter again. That's the dangerous part about supporting Donald Trump. I'm sorry. That's the dangerous part about speaking out for America. That's the risk that you take. That's why you need to be right with God. I'm sorry. You need to be right with the Lord. Because at the end of the day, them people ain't going to protect you. He going to have to be the one that protects you. So, Tim Pool, Candace Owens, people who've reached a mountain of influence to the point where they're outside of the CIA, outside of the influence of the CIA, outside of the influence of what I would call the intelligence agencies, end up being targets, period, point blank, period. So I could see Tim Pool going bye-bye. And watch this. This is how stupid people are. In Tim Pool's silence from the 19th to whenever he decides he's going to come back, the attacks will intensify. People will be like, oh, Tim Pool is going. I could be the next Tim Pool. When the reality of it is you can't be the next Tim Pool because God gave him the anointing to be Tim Pool. But they'll go ahead and argue and fight. And that's what happened with Charlie Kirk. Everybody wants to be the next Charlie Kirk. Can't be Charlie Kirk. Besides, Charlie Kirk ain't dead anyway. He in heaven, petitioning a throne against all kind of crazy stuff. You can't be something you're not. You just can't be. There's a reality that God created for you in the realm of the spirit that's pulled into this reality the closer you are with him. And you can't be that man. I could never be him. I could never be Alex Jones. I can be me. You know what I'm saying? And from there, you just got to give the people what they want. Got to give the people what they want. Boom, 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 dun-dun-dun, boom, 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 dun-dun-dun. Got to give the people. With that being said, let's go from regular news to strangeness, please. Let's get to strange things. Strange things. Now let's circle into the bloodline. And we started talking about iniquity. We started talking about bloodline steeped in iniquity. And let's start with Macron. Emmanuel Macron. The one who who Candace says is the one that's trying to whack her. And honestly, I believe that they trying to whack Candace Owens. Candace Owens be going hard. You went after the man, wife, husband, whatever the hell this thing is. And I want to be clear with you, Macron. I don't give a damn where you put your Peter bird. I don't care. I don't care if that's man or that's woman. That's your damn business. Whatever make you happy, make you happy. But I do say this to you, Macron. Man, if you really want to be happy, just be you. Just be free. Just tell everybody, yeah, I like dudes. And then go further. Tell them, I'm really not human anyway. Because that's the truth of the matter. And I'm going to show you there's something wrong with this dude. And everybody's looking at the part where it's like, oh, what's this weird person he's with? But you thinking like a human being who got some form of righteousness that's got some form of sense, some form of a spirit. Even if your spirit is wicked, you still got some form of a spirit. So you ain't really gone down the rabbit holes and trying to figure out what's going on with Macron or any of the other world leaders. But oh, buddy, we getting ready to talk about those who are the shareholders and stakeholders of the world who believe that they're going to destroy humanity and transcend and be gods. They're going to clone babies and make babies in incubators that they can do whatever they want to do with. That's going to change the rules and laws to where they can have wives that are 9, 10 years old, and they've killed everybody else off because they want to return to the days of Noah. By the way, before I hit play and just show Macron, I could just hit play and let you watch Macron get beat up over and over in the background while I'm talking. Here he is getting beat up by his old lady. He go, and he's like, huh. The point I'm making to you is this. Let's start with the Genesis 6 narrative where everybody, they just ran a Genesis 6 narrative into the ground. It was like, Jesus said, you know, the days, when they asked Jesus, what would the days of his return look like? He said, you know, the return of Son of Man will be like the days of Noah. What the hell is the days of Noah? What the hell was going on in the days of Noah? I think that's where we need to start from. Because everybody wants to just jump straight to giants, right? The days of Noah, there was giants, DW. There was giants in those days, all in the earth. And that was the only thing that was going on in the time of Noah was there was giants. You don't know nothing about the giant of Kandahar, James. You don't talk about it. You ain't never said nothing about no giants because you don't know nothing about the Jews and the giants. In the days of Noah. What the hell was going on in the days of Noah? Should we go look and see what was going on in the days of Noah? Let's go to the Bible, first of all, and let's see what Jesus said. Then we'll go back and we'll look in the days of Noah and see what was going on. I could tell you what was going on in the days of Noah. Men and women was living to extremely long ages. Are there not life extension technologies coming out where people are getting Ozempic and Oprah Winfrey looked like she reversed age 20 years? Did she not get some of that life extension? Are they not getting a life extension? So we need to understand the criteria that we need to check off to meet the days of Noah. It ain't just some damn giants running around. It ain't just some giants running around. There was perversions running around. There was genetic modification going on. That's what it was in the days of Noah before God said he was going to flood the earth. Because all the bloodlines was genetically modified. So when we start talking about the days of Noah, hold on, man. Hold on. I'm going ham and I'm not giving you something to look at. That's the problem because my partner was telling me, he's like, bro, you got to give the people what they want. Boom, boom, dun, 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 boom, boom, Boom. Dun-dun-dun. Hold on. Now I submit to you, ladies and gentlemen, that we are walking into the days of Noah, but not because of what everybody else say. Not because they think it's gonna be about giants, because you seeing weird, crazy stuff all over the place. Like this person that's dressed up like a furry. Like these people who have gone so far perverted that they think they're animals. That if we have a category of people today, that if they could transmorph their bodies, they would be a damn dog. That's what they would be. That is extreme perversion. That was the one thing that was shown from the Charlie Kirk's murder. And I did a story about furries a long time ago when I was taking in phone calls for stories and recanting stories. Furries, those people who dress like furries is wild dudes, bro. They wild head busters and wig splitters. I'm just something wrong with them people, man. Just sidebar nerd. Note, if you got a neighbor who a furry, or somebody in your apartment complex that's a furry, and you see him running around with a mask on, yo, move. Get away. Leave. That person on some other stuff. There's two type of people that be on some other stuff. And I'm not going to go into the other type because then YouTube be like, you talked about them so bad. But them furry people be on some other stuff. This right here is what I would call a perversion. Because it's you can't genetically modify yourself to be a dog, but you just live the life of a dog, an animal. And I'm going to go so far as to say this so you guys understand it. And I'm sorry, this may be a little harsh and it may come across a little bit mean. But you ain't really got no way of knowing what's been mixed into these people's bloodlines. The only people that really know what's in the bloodlines at this point in time is 23andMe because they got everybody DNA. But as we're seeing the various generations be made manifest, and then, let me go show you what I meant by various generations. And I'll come right back to this. As we see the various generations be made manifest in front of you, because I talked about how the further you get away from God, the worse it gets for the generations. The further your bloodline gets away from the Lord, the worse your generations get. And we covered all this stuff. There we go. This graph ought to give us a good starting point, right? You got perverse and crooked generation, adulterous generations, and generations. What I'm saying, generations. What the hell is a generation? Generation. Perverse and crooked generation, adulterous generations, forgetful generations. See, where we are and where they were in the times of Noah was a perverse, crooked generation. These people were perverse, completely and totally perverse. No faith in them whatsoever. That's why the Bible says when the Son of Man returns, will he find faith in the earth? So what you're looking for in the days of Noah is perverse people with no faith. None. All right. So let's establish this. In DW, the giants is what's supposed to be there when the world is coming to an end. Damn, these glasses dirty. The giants. No, it's going to be a perverse generation of people. Perverted DNA. All right. With that being said, let's go back to this little dude right here. And I want you to listen to what he say. I want you to listen to what he said. I want you to listen. And I want you to listen good. Listen to me good. Listen to me good.
Unidentified.
Wait, you saw the night guard?
Hey, that's the night guard right there!
No, that's just Freddy. Oh,
And here, man, I got this. It'll be all right. Here's another version of that perverse generation. And this is what I mean. How do you get to a point to where you want to be like this? And now you're androgynous. Like, could you tell that's a woman or a guy? No, you don't know what that is. You don't know what it is. And it says no goofy identify as a non-human. The concept and idea that you identify as something other than what you were born lets you know we've reached the territory of perverse and crooked generation. It's a perversion. It's upside down, it's backwards. What the hell do you want from these people? What do you expect from people who don't know what they are? Now, I know the globalists have a plan. The globalists had a plan to lead us to this point. And it was a 100, 200 year plan. But at the same time, it ain't the globalist fault. Well, GW, you can't say it's the globalist fault. Well, if the Lord said at the end of the day this was going to happen, then it's going to happen. Right? I'm sorry, it's going to happen. However, there's times when you can say, Lord, I know it's supposed to happen, but it ain't got to happen while I'm alive. You can petition for it to be pushed back, bada bing, bada boom. But in reality, it's the parents' fault. It's this individual's parents' fault. I don't know what that is, but it's their parents' fault. Now, why is this so perverse? Because there's somebody who sees this and they have the same spirit. So they see that belly button, they see them shoulders, they see that mask, and they're physically turned on by this. When I look at it, I'm like, what the hell is going on? This is repulsive. This is crazy. But there's a generation of people where it's erotic to them. It's the anime kids who look at the anime things and they have the little anime signs on their wall, but it's a generation. And they're going to have children, and their children going to have children, and their children going to have children. Now, as I go deeper into this, I'm just going to say this to any furry that see this and find themselves getting offended. I ain't playing that bullshit with you. I know how y'all get down. I'm just going to keep it real with you. I got the right to talk about what I want to talk about. I know y'all crazy. I'm just telling you it'll be a whole bunch of fur around here. That's all I'm going to say. It'll be a whole bunch of damn fur around here. And I know y'all think y'all superheroes, and we going to find out. If you get upset, we going to find out who's super. I know I ain't super. I got some super things in my closet. We're going to find out who's super. Now let's go about our business, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the point. When you get to this furry stuff and you get to this perverted mindset, you have to understand that these are the things that were going on. However, it was a genetic modification of humans. So back then you had humans that were half fish and half man, half wolf, half man, half dog, half man. We ain't got to that point again. But this is the pre-manifestation of it right here. So it's kind of like you're peeking in the window of the future perversion that's coming. You done lifted up the window. Yeah, the hell going on out? What the hell we got going on out here? Huh? What the hell going on out here? Man, are they out there in furry costume? What the hell is that? Then you close the window back down. 5 minutes later, what the hell? What they doing? What are they doing? That's where we at. You know what I'm saying? That's where we're at right now. And that's what I'm taking. I'm taking you on the road. You're going on a trip in your favorite rocket ship, flying through the sky, little Einstein. Is that how it went? I'm going on a trip in my favorite rocket ship, flying through the sky, little Einstein.
Personally spent on fursuits in the last 3-ish years, I'd probably say is in that ballpark range of like $10,000 to $12,000.
I've spent about $6,000 or $7,000 on fursuits. I
it's
enjoy being
expensive.
in the furry community because
It's a real
of all
community.
of the creativity that goes into the fursuits, and because of all the art. It's very open, and I think that it's very accepting. You can be from any background, any sexuality.
I've done a lot of cool things because of it, and if it wasn't for the furry community, I would not have met Kira.
I think the negative parts of the community, sometimes I think we accept the wrong people.
There's cancel culture at every single corner. The furry fandom drama is just overinflated nonsense.
Some of the judgment that we face as a couple is that he supposedly controls my life or objectifies me.
In reality, like, we had already both have been in the OF sphere. She had wanted to do one before we met.
And we had people who...
All right, let's just keep it real. If them two people want to be furries and have a furry love family, cool. It really ain't about them. It's about the process. And that's what I'm trying to get you to understand. Now, furries is wild. But they seem like a good, nice little furry couple. They seem like they're happy. Get you some love, dog. Get you some love, furry woman. Don't come over here with that foolishness, though. I'm just going to tell you right now. Because I'm about dragon breath slug, dragon breath slug, dragon breath. And I ain't lying when I'm telling you that I'm loaded dragon breath slug, dragon breath slug. I got to remember. Because I pick up the wrong one, I set the whole house on fire. Dragon breath slug, dragon breath slug, dragon breath slug. I got to remember. I got to be like, okay, don't grab that one. Grab that one. That's around the middle of the night. And you run up. I burn this place down. We get out of here alive, though. Now, let me stop. I gotta stop. I'm going ham. I gotta stop. Stop it, James. Stop it. Stop it, James. Stop it. All right, here we go. Get back focused. Those two people are a personification of what I'm talking about. It's not that. It's not even a target towards them. Remember, we're on our rocket ship, like little Einstein flying through the sky. And they're an example. They're a stop along the way to where I'm talking about we're going. These people live that lifestyle. That's how they live. But how do you get to that point to where you live that lifestyle? Because you've reached the point of the perverse generation. Somebody be like, oh, you called them perverse. Come on, bro, let's just keep it real. I believe that people should be able to do what they want to do. I believe the children are the future. Like Whitney Houston. That's what I believe. I believe they should do what they want to do. But that doesn't mean that what they doing ain't perverse. It's not normal, bro. But they should be able to do that non-normal thing that they want to do. You want, hey, man, have your fun. Don't try to make me do it. But hey, bro, you got a whole community of furry people. Y'all running around, beating each other up. Man, do your thing. So, the days of Noah, we're talking about perversions. We're talking about genetic modification. We're talking about giants. We're talking about fish people. Now, let's get off of the regular human beings. Let's go to the people that I've been trying to get to the whole time. So now you finna see with your own eyes what's out there. Because they out there. Them people right there is not them. Them people is the people that's on their way to being them. I mean, they're on their way. Their bloodline is on its way to accepting a modification through their DNA that will make them a non-human. They will be the people who line up for the brain chip. If it was sponsored by the government, they'll be the ones who was line up to get modified, to get robotic arms. That's the people. But they ain't the controllers. They ain't the ones. Let's go look at the ones. You the one, girl. You the one, girl. Put your finger in the air. You the one. Now let's get to what I'm just going to go ahead and say is the either genetically modified individuals, non-humans, humans, or the fallen angel vessels, or just these flat out aliens, which come from they fit in these categories, and they're in front of you all the time. Like, and people will say, well, Mark Zuckerberg was cloned, Alex Jones was cloned. If I lose weight, they'd be like, Dark Waters was cloned. If I get on some of that lizard venom. How y'all take that lizard venom and stab in your stomach with it? When you get that lizard venom, and it stab it right in your stomach, and then your stomach just stop getting hungry and you just shrink up. To me, Ozempic is a perfect example of it. To give you Gila Monster venom to make you lose weight, you would have to really just try and figure out what type of venom, since they use venoms, what type of venom makes you gain weight? What kind of venom makes you retain water or retain whatever it is that holds fat? And then you would know what they did to the American population. Because if the Gila Monster venom is a cure, then it probably is a lizard venom that caused the problem. Let's just keep it real. That's probably what it is. But here we go with Mark Zuckerberg showing that he's non-human, human, whatever the hell he is. He's something. It ain't right, whatever it is.
The concerns that have been raised. Need water, okay. Now, as I was saying, there's been a lot of concern about people's private information and how.
You drink coffee, man, or no?
Nah.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, you've had it.
I have. Sometimes on vacation, I'll drink it recreationally. Hey everyone, we are live from my backyard where I am smoking a brisket and some ribs. Bother you because you're human, and I was human. I am human still. But I was just referring to myself in the past.
We got one. Mark, are the allegations true that you are secretly a lizard? I'm gonna have to go with no on that. I am not a lizard.
Topic at hand, which is the concerns that have been raised.
He's gonna have to go no on that one. He is not a lizard. He's gonna have to go with no on that one. He's not a lizard. How does this all tie in? Because you may be saying, well, James, you're going down this rabbit hole. I'm not getting the rabbit hole. It's all tied together, and I'm going to make it real simple for you. In the days of Noah, what was it like in the days of Noah? Let me get off of this, and let's go into talking about the life extension technologies. Because the days of Noah was a hodgepodge of events that were going on. There was perversions. There was wickedness. There was molestations and rapes and crazy stuff going on all over the place. There were non-humans walking around that were genetically modified. There were regular humans that went into perversions. All these things were going on in the days of Noah. They were married and they was given in marriage. They was doing all these things. I mean, you talk about a wicked world with all wickedness going on, with bloodlines polluted and people living for a long time. Well, one of the criteria that we would have to meet if we going to get into the area living for a long time is, I guess people would have to be having some kind of life extension, wouldn't they? Wouldn't they be living longer? Here we go. Now, I know you may be thinking to yourself, James, I kind of get where you're going, but none of this makes sense because I don't see it. But I need you to get this. You see, I showed you the generations, right? When you take in account and factor in technology, because technology is going to move at an exponential pace. It's going to go zoom. And then you add in life extension, giving exponential life growth, technology, giving exponential growth in tech, and removing burdens from people, which they're bragging about. You know, we're going to remove the need for people to do anything. You're not going to have to work. We're going to put you on a basic minimum income and this. What is it there going to be left for anyone to do other than be perverted, retarded, and perverse? And then you're in that state of perversion, retardation, and craziness for an extended life period. That's what was going on in the times of Noah. And in that time period, the technology has come out where you can be anything. There's no gender anymore, so there's no moral norms. There's no sexual norms. There's no norms of any damn thing. Nothing's normal. It's this whole new world that we've been brought into. That's what it looks like in the days of Noah and the return of the Son of Man. People get me and they be like, oh, Donald Trump was he's the beast because he got shot in the ear and, he had a deadly head wound. I'll be like, boy, you ain't never read your damn Bible. You never read the Bible, boy. You never even did a Bible study. The stuff you saying is so wrong, man. How could you be so wrong and then be so confident in being so wrong? Are you with me, ladies and gentlemen? Are you with me? Are you with me? Tell me if my message getting through to you. Woo! I hope you with me. Because they're sitting here saying you're going to live for 1,500 years. I ain't trying to be around nowhere for 1,500 years. Hell, I done seen enough in my 49 years to where I don't want to see no more. I ain't nothing else to see. What the hell else there to look at around here? Same bunch of damn retards everywhere. Even if you was rich, you would just see the whole world. And now, if I could go out of space or something, and go out into space and maybe fight some space aliens, come back with some predator skulls and hold them up like this, I'll go do that. But man, ain't no reason to be around here for no 1,500 years. You done lost your damn mind. Only a fool want to be on this planet 1,500 years.
Period will take about 5 to 6 years. After its completion, we will enter the creative society. And the creative society is a world of incredible possibilities where the latest technologies will be available. The health capsule will allow everyone to extend their lives beyond the species limit and live in a healthy and young body for at least 1,500 years. The replicator is the technology that will enable us to create anything from the tiniest particles, manipulating matter at the quantum level. These technologies will be in every home. And that's the answer to why we will no longer need money. The transitional period will take about 5 to 6 years. After its completion, we will enter the...
Now you may be saying to yourself, what do you mean the replicator? They already got nanobot replicators. They put them in people's bodies. See, this is the thing about having wicked people having control of technology. The same replicator nanobot technology they put inside of people's body to give them blood clots and make things happen to them is the same damn replicator nanobot technology that they could use to build a TV, that they could use. They gave you 3D printing, and then they had replicators. Stargate replicators, but they gave you a 3D printer. That's what you got. They around here replicating stuff. I'm sorry. Let me stop. Because see, I be going too ham, and I'm going to get myself shot in the head. I'm going to accidentally get a bullet. I'm going to catch a bullet by accident. Yeah. My forehead going to catch a bullet if I keep going down this road. The point I'm making to you is this. The technology, which is already there, which they will finally let people use, will cause this exponential increase in growth. But even the stuff they let you use is going to be far behind what they have already gotten, what they've been using. They're like, oh, yeah, you know, we got this 6th gen technology. We're on 50th gen. We'll give it to them. That's what you're experiencing right now with AI. And so this leads into people being perverted and being crazy and being twisted and getting to the point to where they just are ungodly. There's no need for God when everything is provided for you. When technology is your God, there's no need for God. And then when you're so immersed in technology that there is no opportunity for you to resonate with God. You have to pull away from tech just to spend time with the Lord. That's why I do it every day. I pull away from all y'all. I love y'all, but the hell with them people. No, I ain't got time for them. Let me get away. And then I go chill. And I get away from even being inside. I go outside. Because even being inside is like I'm confined with 4G and 5G and 3G and Wi-Fi and radiation. It's like your antenna is messed up. So you got to go outside. That's why this generation messed up too, because they're in the house all the time. I can't stand being in the house. You know what I hate worse than being in the house? I hate being in the office building worse. If I had it my way, I would do my live streams from outside with kids in the background screaming and hollering, wind blowing, but you wouldn't be able to hear it. You'd be like, man, why your sound so messed up? Everybody like, I can't hear it. I know the sound is messed up. Because I like to hear life. Like even right now in the background, it's recess time. I can hear kids going, wee, blah, 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 blah. I like to hear life. You want to hear life. As much as I hate crows, because they get on my damn nerves. I like to hear them. But they get on my damn nerves because they're too smart. They do too much malicious stuff. So like they be like, oh, he recording us, go like, wah. Be like, you're going to get hit with this pellet gun. You don't sit down somewhere, boy. I'm going to shoot you in your foot. The point I'm making is, we go through these phases. And like right now, the fourth turning, which everybody's talking about, where it's like the world coming to an end in 2030. The end that they're talking about is the world that you know is coming to an end, not the world itself. The world itself don't come to an end till the Lord said come to an end. And he never said it come to an end. He said it was made anew. He made a new world, a new heaven and a new earth. That's what he said. New heaven, new earth. Not end. You get it? But, you know, you watch the movies, you be like, oh, apocalypse now, the world of apocalypse coming, blah, blah, blah. The meteorite gonna strike us, it's all over. The advanced system of this is being and has been and will be continue to be spoken about through the mouth of the prophet of the New World Order and the World Economic Forum, who I call Urinal Havari. Urinal, piss on Urinal. I'm sorry. I can't stand this dude. A gay Jewish dude who tries to tell the whole world that they're useless. while trying to be perceived as like he's this great, futurist. And I'm just telling you the future does not need humans. No, you guys plan a future, a non-human future. Everything you're doing is for a future to be non-human. You could have a pro-human future easily, but that's not what you want. You want a non-human future.
What do we need humans for? Or at least, what do we need so many humans for?
Do you have an answer in the book?
At present, the best guess we have is keep them happy with drugs and computer games. Most people will be willing to give up their privacy in exchange for much better healthcare based on 24 hours monitoring of what's happening inside their bodies. Humans are now hackable animals. This soul or spirit, and they have free will, and nobody knows what's happening inside me. That's over. The real aim of science as a project, as an establishment, is not truth, it's power. The idea of the social credit is to monetize everything, to give value to every single thing you do in life. It's a function of surveillance. It has positive potential in some regard. What do we need humans for? Or at least, what do we need?
These monsters, that's what these people are. They're monsters. Look at them eyes right there. I mean, let me zoom in on this. That's not a damn human being right there. I don't care what you say. Look at them eyes right there. If you have any discernment, you look at that thing, you know that's not a human. I can't find videos of his eyes morphing like I can find videos of other people's eyes morphing, splits going like this in their eyes and their eyes lighting up, or his face transitioning, because he's probably an old principality spirit. But that's not a human being. If you ever watched him, you know that's non-human. Instinctively, you know that that's not a human. Your body says, your spirit says, ugh, I want to vomit because that's not a human being. James, help me. Get me away from it. Kill it, stab it, shoot it, burn it, or run. Do something. You ever been out and you see a person and they're such an abomination that the first thing that comes to your mind is shoot it? I've been there before. Been out. This 9 foot tall, damn near with heels on, cross-dressing dude walked in this restaurant, and I'm sitting there talking to people, and I look, and my brain says, shoot it, shoot it, shoot it. And I'm like, what the hell is that thing? And then I'm going about my business because it ain't no threat to me. But you see, when I see people like Yuval Harari, Klaus Schwab, instinctively, the primal sense of my brain kicks in, and it says, okay, we need to burn down their castle. Yeah. We need to throw catapults at them, balls of fire at them. We need to shoot them, stab them, kill them, or else we need to run. Because that's what's in them. They're bringing death with them. And you can sense that death. You can sense that. Look at that. Look at them eyes. You can sense that destruction. I can go find videos of him where he really looking at the camera. And you really see that death and destruction in his eyes. You're like, that's death. That might be Abaddon in his eyes. He may be Abaddon. You know what I'm saying? And then people like, Donald Trump, James, you don't know. I wish you stay out of politics. It's always a white liberal woman. I wish you stay out of politics and stay to the scary stories because you don't understand who Donald Trump is. I wish you sit your behind down and go make a sandwich for your husband. Do something for your husband. Stop worrying about me. Make a sandwich for your husband. But you probably ain't never did that in the past, 30 years. You ain't did nothing for that man in 30 years because you the boss. Make the man a sandwich. Start right there. Start by serving your husband. And don't worry about me. Start with being a wife. Stop worrying about me. You heard me? And naturally, when you go down this pipeline, you got to get to what they're talking about. These lizard people, because that's what the hell they are. These are your non-human humans. I'm sorry. This is what you're dealing with. And they have all races, shapes, and colors. This is what I want you to understand. And then they start talking about water. They telling us that they gonna track our water. But why you want to track my water? How much water I get? I'll tell you why they tracking how much water you get, because they need that water to funnel into the fuel and cool down their AIs. That's why they came out with certain tokens that would be able to quantify and tokenize everything. That's why they need the ability to know how much water is in the earth and on top of the earth. By the way, there's waters inside of the earth, there's waters above the earth, and there's water on top of the earth. That's what my Bible tell me. That's what I believe. The point I'm making to you is when this Chinese lizard woman, shilizard, slizzard, chillizard, when this chillizard is up here talking, and she's talking about carbon footprint and taxing global emissions and tracking water, then you got to understand what she's saying. What she's saying is you can't have no water. That's why I've been telling y'all, keep watching the waters, man. Everybody like, all he said is keep watching the waters. I was saying the most profound, simplistic thing I could ever say. It's one of those things that you say 10 years, and it takes 10 years for people to come to the realization that I've been telling you where the source of the problem was from the beginning, and where the source is, where the target is. It's the waters. It's so deep that people don't get it.
Today, carbon pricing, ETSs, carbon taxes already cover about 25% of global emissions, right? We should actually look at scaling this, right, to cover all 100% of carbon emissions. And beyond carbon, let's think about other aspects of nature that are easier to quantify. We probably will not be able to quantify everything on day one, but what about water? Right, that's also quite possible for us to start integrating systematically into current trading carbon pricing mechanisms. Today, carbon.
Yeah, they need to price in the water. See, that's how I say it, water. She called it water. It's water. Water. Down here in New Orleans, say, boy, you gone on that water. Water with a D, not water. And you don't know how to say water. Yes, of course I know how to say water. Would you like some water? But we call it water. Gone on that water. Everybody want the water. Of course they want the water. They lizard people. They want the damn water. But really, they need the water to cover up and to cool down their AI systems. Ever notice how your light bill going up for no damn reason? Your gas bill going down. Light bill skyrocketing because you getting charged for them to use the AI. They gone on that water. Your water bill gonna go up too. You be like, man, why my water bill so high and I ain't using no water? Because they using that water for the AI and they passing the cost on to you to cool down their AI system. Yeah, now if you got a well, you Gucci. But watch this. This is why Bill Gates buying into the places where the largest aquifers are, because they're gonna drain the water from your well. They gone on that water, but nobody paying attention. Because I guess I'm just retarded. Nobody want to listen. Watch this. Hold on. Let's go to somebody else talking about that water.
In terms of monetary values, but also in terms of goods. And now we need to put the economics of water, not only in terms of monetary values, but also in terms of governance, in terms of recognizing water as a commons that we now need to manage as a broad systems approach. So that's why this commission is not only necessary but urgent to take this challenge on. You know, not only have we not focused on economics of water, when we have focused on water, we've only focused on drinking water, domestic water, and that is roughly 150 liters per person per day, which is what the wealthy are using. It's a review on the economics of water, and we will be looking at the value of water and considering different novel economic policy measures, of which one may be, for example, putting some form of price on water in order to guide and give incentives, but not as a price to punish those who are poor, but rather to reward those that are stewards of fresh water for the common good. So this is
not a price to punish, but a price to reward those who are stewards. So they're going to monetize water so that they can have money, make money off the water. Because, quite frankly, and this is what I've been saying, and this is where everybody down bad at, I'm mad at them people, but I ain't as mad at them as I am as the rest of the people in the world, especially all my Christian brothers and sisters, because there's no way in hell that we shouldn't have our own Christian World Economic Forum. You should have your own Christian World Economic Forum. You should have your own Christian World Economic Forum with a little bit of a military might to go with it too. To where when these people start saying, yeah, we're going to turn girls into boys and girls, boys into girls, and then all of a sudden their house just blow up. Boom. That's what we should have, but we don't. And then you be like, oh, the World Economic Forum is evil. Yeah, they're evil, but actually our asses is evil. Actually, we in sin. Sin is falling short of the glory of God. That's what sin is. Don't let nobody trick you and be like, oh man, you sinful. We all sin because we all fall short of his glory and his expectations. That's what sin is. Sin is falling short. So as it pertains to us all, including my big head behind, when it comes to this issue, we all is sinners. Because there's no way that we shouldn't sit here and have a counteroffensive to these wicked people. There's no way that we should be on defense against these wicked, non-human lizard people. And it wouldn't matter if they were space aliens with ray guns. We should have what we need because we are sons and daughters of God to deal with them and their damn ray guns. That's the point I'm making. That's where I'm going with this. So it don't matter if they got eyes like this. Hold on. Don't matter if they look like this. So it don't matter. Honestly, it really don't matter if this is what their eyes look like, if they lizard people. I mean, I'm just going to keep it real, which is good for you to know that they lizard people. I mean, let's just keep it real. It's good that you know that this type of stuff exists. Because if you don't know that this type of stuff exists, you just lost. Look at this thing. You understand that that's not a human, man. That ain't no human either. They ain't humans. They wicked, incestuous bloodlines of demons. That's what you're dealing with. And you have authority over them. But the problem is nobody understands the authority that they have. Look at them hands. Look at them black fingers. You know what I'm saying? Nobody understands this. So since you don't understand, look at that kid like, oh shit, I'm this lizard person looking at me. Oh no, hell no. Lizard coming. Oh, and there go the liberal mom. Oh my God, the kid like, I'm getting away from this lizard. Oh my God, that thing is evil. They all like, yeah, look at the queen. No, the queen evil. Damn lizard. But it's more to it than that. And the reason why I say it's more to it than that, look how the animal reacts to it. Like, get me away from this evil. Animals sense evil. Children sense evil. Kids like, oh, hell no, get me away from this witch. Take off running. I'm gone. The point I'm making is, see, when we don't exercise in our authority, we don't stand in our authority, this is what we subject ourselves to. We've been subjected to this because we subject ourselves to it. We subject ourselves to the World Economic Forum. We subject ourselves to these wicked people. Want to know why Candace Owens is being targeted? This is why Candace Owens is being targeted. Want to know why Donald Trump be hand wrestling with these clowns and yanking them around? Because they ain't humans. Look at that thing. Look at them eyes. Look at that thing. Look at them teeth. What is that? What the hell is that? That ain't a human being. DW, that's an AI edit. No, the hell it ain't. You look at the behavior patterns that they have and watch what they do and you tell something wrong with them. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say this. No, I'm not going to say that about Donald because I'm not going to say that. All I'm going to say is this. There's something unique about Donald Trump, too. That's all I'm going to say. There's something unique. I'm not going to say it's lizardy, but it's unique about Donald. And if you have any discernment, you see that very unique trait about Donald Trump. It's extremely unique. But we ain't talking about Donald. We talking about these damn lizard people right here. These damn evil minions and globalists that want to dominate us. That's what wants to dominate you and your family. But it presents itself like it's not a threat. And the worst part about this is all in front of your face. It's all in front of your face. These genetically, quote unquote, superior but are inferior bloodlines that want to rule and reign over you. Here's one of the Saudi princes with his extra long fingers in hand. And you can't really count how many fingers it is. It looks like it's 6 damn 1, 2, 3, 4. You're like, dude only got 4 damn fingers. It looked like it's only 4 fingers. Yeah, it looked like it's only 4 fingers. But This stuff is all over the place, man. It's not hard for us to find. It's just that this becomes the main focus. It's that this becomes the topic. This becomes the thing to talk about. Have you seen that video? Have you seen that video? As opposed to the understanding that it's all about Jesus Christ. These are signs of Christ's return. So if you're looking at it and you're reading the news, and even if it's the strange, weird news, and you're keeping it in context of the kingdom that you're in, you're going to make progress in your understanding. It's just that when you go down the rabbit hole, you get to the bottom of the rabbit hole and you're hanging out there, you think, yeah, I know this and I'm smart. You ever met somebody who's a conspiracy theorist and they think they have knowledge and they exalt this knowledge like, yeah, you don't know about this and you don't know about that. That's pride, man. That's pride. They become proud of absolutely worthless knowledge. You ask them how often they pray, they be like, man, I don't pray because, you know, the Anunnakis was the gods. It was the Anunnakis who made man inside of a shell, and the Garden of Eden was really this dome where humanity started. I believe in the 10 kings of the earth. They were the original rulers, which was the Anunnaki. And you'd be like, so you a Satanist? Nah, the 10 rulers were not the Satanists. Those are the 10 princes of Satan. You a Satanist. Well, what you're trying to say is, you know, the black man wasn't the original man. Like, I ain't saying nothing about blackness. What I'm saying to you is you need to get in contact with the real history of how we ran the world and how the Hebrews was the black people. I can believe they had some black Hebrews. Because you Negroes still act just like the Hebrews did in the Bible. You're still taking idols. You're still doing crazy foolishness. You're still doing running your kids through the fire of Moloch. You're still doing all that stuff. I could believe there were some black Hebrews, some black Israelites. I definitely could believe it because you're acting a fool back today like you did back then. I could definitely believe that. Your Pharisees today like you were back then. I can believe it. Mm-hmm. You feel where I'm coming from, man? It's not about that thing right there. Hold on, I'm gonna show you another thing. It's not about the thing. It's not about the thing. There's another one of these things. Look at that eyeball. That ain't normal. It's not about, first of all, let's just do a lizard check. Look at my eyes. I don't have lizard eyes. You don't see no slits in my eyes. They're perfectly round. One of them may be red because I had a little sleep in my eyes and I rubbed it and went in my eyeball. I do not have lizard eyes. Let's be matter of fact, look at your husband, look at your wife right now. And just look in their eyes and make sure they don't have no slit in their eyes. Now, I'm going to tell you what to do if they got a slit in their eyes. What you're going to do is you're going to put your hand on them like this. One of y'all need to put your hand on your lady right now. Grab her by her head like this. Grab her. Don't just put it. Just grab her head aggressively. Be like, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus Christ. Get out of my wife now. Make that spirit leave out of your wife. But see, these people are giving into this stuff. This is what they are. This is who they are. Did you grab it like this? You gotta make sure you make the noise. Don't just remember like the face sucker on Alien? Gotta do it like that. Your hand turns into a rebuking face sucker. Oh, let me stop beating myself up, clowning, acting a damn fool. But it's not about them. That's the whole trick about this. You know, coming out of the cryptid field and paranormal, scary story field. By the way, I put out a book I want you guys to take a look at. It's called Father Walker. It's my fictional mystery murder solving book. It's on Amazon right now. Hold on. Let me. I'm gonna promote it at the end. Let me finish my thought. Because you know I be all over the place. This is not about those people. It's about the authority given unto you. This whole experience that you're having in this dimension is your experience to walk with the Lord. It's your chance to show him who and what you are while you're in flesh. But this faith, these religions have risen. These doctrines of devils have risen. And whether you believe it or not, all these things end up being doctrines. Like they end up being their own gospel. So people go into cryptids and it's like cryptid is a religion for them. Bigfoot is their religion. And they will defend Bigfoot. You can't tell me nothing about Bigfoot. Or lizard people is their religion. They'll defend. I ain't defending none of these no good, low down, rotten, Nephilim children. I don't care. I don't give a damn. In fact, God could damn all of them to hell for all I care. The point I'm making to you is this. All of that is to take your eyes off Jesus and what he did for you to deal with these people. Skipping back a couple of videos to the World Economic Forum, why I said we should have our own Christian World Economic Forum. The problem is, it takes everybody to get to the level of understanding sonship to get to that point. And so you'll see a man, we'll see a man, not you. Guys, forgive me. In New Orleans, we use the IU transition a lot. It's our conversational pattern. So it's from I to you to I to we. We transition in our conversations in New Orleans a whole lot. It's just because we talk so much. So for somebody who's not from the South, when they hear IU transition, they take the you personally. Because quite frankly, you end up having weak skin. You got that little weak sauce. You need to toughen up the skin. Because I ain't saying you. You heard me? You is a transition to you as a group of people out there. Back to what I was saying. However, when we see somebody that's a man of God that has a lot of money and is prospering, then it turns into, oh, he stole all this money from the people, blah, 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 blah. And so nobody gets to the point where they can do this. And then the people who do get to the point to where they can set up a council, they have no interest in God because they went through the system and they made their money through the system. So you get an Elon Musk who could and is standing up to the EU, but Elon don't really have no interest in Jesus. And he got his success in a situation where he did it outside of the Lord. And so it's harder to get him to convert. If you can get all the boys that's in big tech to convert to Jesus, we wouldn't have no problem moving forward. But the only way you're going to convert the guys in big tech to Jesus is you're going to need somebody with the power of a Samuel to walk in there and give them visions and dreams and crazy shit happen to them. That's going to display the power of God to them to convert them. And then that brings me to the base level point. Base level point is we ain't got no power. And I ain't talking about power like, oh, group power. I'm talking about power like lightning, thunder, fire from the sky power. Because the faith of Christianity that we display now is a powerless Christianity. It's based on coffee marketing. And that's what it's based on. And that's why I didn't want to come down this road. Lord, this is why I didn't want to go into all this. Because God was like, hey, you need to go back into the hardcore stuff. And I'm like, sure, I'll do it. But I spaz and I lose my mind because you come to the conclusion that it is our fault over and over and over and over again. Screw the dude with the lizard eye. See that little eyeball right there? That eyeball means nothing. You should smack the piss out of his lizard eye. If somebody come up to you with a lizard eyeball and they got smack the piss out of him, pop! I'm going to smack your damn eyeball straight. In the name of Jesus, I lay hands on your eyes. That lizard eye is going to be straight from now on. That's not the problem. It's the lack of power, which is the problem. And the craziest thing is we have the authority. We just lack the use of the power. Hold on, man. Hold on, man. Dang, I ain't want to go this far. I did not want to go this deep, man. We got to get out the strange, weird stuff. We got to come to why we lack the power. Because there's an understanding that we don't have. That we don't have, man. That we don't have. I'm going to tell you a quick story. There was a guy who's one of my forefathers in kind of the Christian supernatural giant realm. You know what I'm saying? There's this weird slither of three men that deal with like the giants, the Nephilims, ancient deities, but they're all Christian. There's three really well-known men. And one of those really well-known men came on to hang out with me, but he was having a sickness and an illness where he couldn't walk and he was just sick and ill. And I said, hey, man, have you ever tried to pray about it? And he's like, well, no. You know, I've had people pray for me and blah, blah, blah. I said, well, I have a very strong prayer altar. Let's do some prayer. Now, this is after the Lord urged me multiple times, hey, son, you need to pray for him. Son, you need to pray for him. I was like, well, why he ain't praying for himself? Because I always be like, why they don't pray for themselves, Lord? I brought him to you to pray for him. So, boom, we hit it in prayer. I had to tell the man, listen, don't freak out. Don't spaz out when you hear me pray for you. Because sometimes people freak out because I don't choose what to say. So we hit it. Boom. As I'm praying, you hear him go, and I'm like, all right, you good? He was like, yeah, I'm fine, you know, and he kind of goes into tears and da-da-da-da. And then an hour later, he says, man, I feel 100% better. No, he says, I feel 50% better. By the next day, he says, man, I feel 150% better. I'm walking. I'm not having this. I'm not having this. I'm not having this. And he was like, whatever was in my body is healed. He said, I don't even know what it was, but whatever my physical issue was, it's healed. The Bible says, pray for one another. Confess your faults to one another, pray for one another so that you may be healed. That's the context of healing. Confessing your faults and praying for one another so that you may be healed. If anyone is afflicted, let him pray. So if there's an affliction, pray. For healing, pray for one another. Okay, got it, right? Let's go into Prophet Hubert Angel, who I like, by the way, one of the guys that I've been praying for the Lord to send to America. Hopefully he'll be here soon. I would love to see him and all these other guys at the National Mall during the summertime, having the biggest, most largest, most glorious revival service there ever was, with the president up there and all the men of America getting baptized in the pool of the mall, destroying the wickedness that is the satanic pentagram that of the satanic Freemasons that's there by doing a ritual and raising an altar to God dead smack in the middle of it, shooting this ball of light to the sky, and kaboom, nuclear bomb hit. You heard me say that here in the private place with us. You'll hear me say that publicly, real publicly on a big stage later. But you hear me tell you this right here, right now. That's my desire. That's my biggest desire right there. Not that I have 1 million subs. That's my desire right there. Here we go.
This body here is Jesus who is inside this body. Okay? He is also here. As I'm standing here and he's standing there, God has experienced what a Lamborghini feels like, because I bought a Lamborghini for myself. So God knows how a Lamborghini feels like through my body. God has a dream to live in a house, but he has no house because your body has refused to have a house. If he has never owned a car, that means his body has never been used by God to drive a car. So God in his life in this body is disadvantaged. You are the one who makes Jesus poor with your body. All my prayers with God that are on relationship are really me gossiping about you. Oh, okay. Let me go here. If I'm talking to you now and I hugged you like this and we are moving together and we're talking about it, when I go to prayer, I tell God, I was with Brother Alfred. That guy. You saw that God, right? Yes. I was moving with him in the church.
That's exactly what it is.
I know what you're thinking, but God knows. Yeah, so you think your prayer he doesn't know? He knows. I'm just repeating what I did here. After I finish this, I go in the office there and I thank God for the move of the Spirit. But while I'm thanking God for the move of the Spirit, I tell him everyone I touched, the people that are fascinated me. That's why my prayer can be long, because it's a pure relationship. I'm literally telling him what happened. Yes, I know he saw that, but he needs to hear my first hand. That's why the Bible talks about yada. For God then knew, and he said, I now know that you love me. You mean the God who knows everything didn't know Abraham loved him? No, not the knowledge you're looking for. This is yada, experiential learning. He had never experienced it. He knew it spiritually, but never experienced it. Do you know the Bible says, a body hast thou given me, hast thou prepared for me. Mariano say, now here is the revelation. He says, a body hast thou prepared for me. See, wherefore, when he comes into the world, he says, sacrifice and offering I would not receive, but a body you prepared for me. In other words, this body here, all right, this body here is Jesus who is inside this body. Okay? He is also here. Do you see our bodies are different? One is tall, one is a little bit tall. Now, Now, you understand what I'm saying? One is a little bit tall, one is taller. Now, a body prepared. If I, by the authority of the Spirit, understand Jesus is in me and Jesus is in him. As I'm standing here and he's standing there, God has experienced what a Lamborghini feels like, because I bought a Lamborghini for myself. So God knows how a Lamborghini feels like through my body.
Now I'm gonna stop right here before Hubert Amos to go into the Lamborghini thing, because people will lose their mind over the Lamborghini. I'm sorry, you're gonna lose your mind over Lamborghini. You're gonna be like, oh, the pastor got a yellow jacket on. He talking about he bought a Lamborghini and the other guy didn't buy a Lamborghini and this. He trying to get money. You see, the revelation of God being in me, Jesus being in me, and Jesus being in you is the main revelation. He decided to use a Lamborghini as an analogy. Here's the most important part you need to get. Because Jesus lives in me and Jesus lives in all of you who watch this video, there should be no issue with the World Economic Forum people. You have the power and authority because Jesus lives in you to deal with those things. The issue where they get ahead is the distractions that they give us. All the things that they give you that you think are more important, that we think are more important than God, than building that relationship with the Lord. And I'm going to say this. I knew exactly what he was talking about when he said that, that his conversation with the Lord is gossiping. Because that's what I do. I'll sit outside, smoke my cigar at the end of the day, and be like, man, God, that day was a rough one. Such and such did this. And I've been struggling trying to understand, why this is this way. These views ain't going the way they need to go. And I'm like tripping because you telling me I need to do this and I don't understand it. But I want to understand it, but don't get me wrong. I want to understand. I don't get it. And I'm gossiping. That's my friend that I'm talking to. And I look crazy. I'll do it in the middle of the day. I just be sitting out there smoking my cigar talking like somebody in the chair, and my neighbors will walk by and be like, well, who's he talking to? I'm talking to the Lord. And that conversation go on for 15 minutes, go on to 30 minutes, go on for an hour. And then I go on about my business. And I'll tell people, hey, you need to learn how to be intimate with the Lord. And that intimacy is, hey, I'm scared. Hey, I'm worried. Hey, what in the hell is happening right now? What is all this foolishness going on? Hey, this person is about to stab me in the back. You told me to help this person. And I'm helping them because you told me to. Are you trying to tell me that I need to let this person stab me in my back when I see them about to stab me in my back? Is that what you're telling me? Come on now, we got to talk about this. Come on now, don't be quiet on me now, please. Don't be quiet. Help me understand what's going on. Now, if you're going to tell me you're going to shield my back, then we're going to go do this. But don't let them stab me in the back. And be like, that's beyond you to let somebody do that to one of your servants. And so you become intimate with him. And thereby you really become more intimate with yourself. And so you talking to yourself, but not talking to yourself. But yeah, you talking to yourself. You get what I'm saying? You talking to self because Jesus is inside of you, but you talking to him because he's outside of you too. It's through that talking that all the rest of the stuff melts away. That you come to the realization through the real true talk, and you come to the realization that all these people that we dealing with, like whenever the Lord tells me to email Alex Jones back, and I go to Alex Jones' studio, because you want me to go? No. Okay. What do you want me to do? You need to be doing this right now. You need to be doing this. Okay, cool. Let me do those things. The first thing I'm going to do is sit down with Alex and say, Alex, you already won. Oh, what do you mean I've already won? There's people on my back that are doing this. You just can't see the victory because you're too close. You already won. Let them have InfoWars. I'm not going to let them have the flagship operate. Let them have it. So when they take it, then now your judgment goes through in the courts of heaven. Let them have it. Let them go through what they plan so you can get your judgment. You're going to be a billionaire. Let them have it. But you can't tell a man that. You can't tell men that thing until the men are in that place. They're mentally there. They see it. They gotta see it with their eyes. You gotta be honed in with them eagle eyes of the Lord. It's like, the point I'm making to you is become intimate. It's in that place of intimacy where things melt away, whether what people have to say about you melt away, where how people feel about you melt away. It's in that place of intimacy where fear of the world coming to an end and the lizard people melts away. It's in that place of intimacy where if I'm in a place where Tim Pool was, where, oh, they shooting at me, they doing this, in that place of intimacy, where I would go to him and I would fast and I'd be like, all right, I can't defend myself. The police not going to defend me. The president not going to defend me. You asked me to come talk about this. You're going to have to defend me. And I would sit there and I would fast until I got the word. Hey, I need some stuff done to where when people run up to shoot, their guns don't work. They see, I need that level of stuff. Well, what can we do here? What we going to do? And that's where I would be until I got that understanding that's where me and him at. When we got that understanding, then I'll pop back up. I wouldn't have been saying none of the old word. No, I wouldn't have said none of that. I wouldn't have spoken none of that to existence. No, I ain't worried about a damn thing. James, I heard they shot up your house. I don't know where you heard that from. That ain't true. But me and him, we got to have a conversation. No, they can't be shooting up now. No. I work for you now. I work for you now. Now, if I'm going to work for myself and I'm going to have to defend myself, Lord, then okay, cool. But if I work for you, then I'm your responsibility. And somebody just shot at my crib. In fact, they shot at your house. They shot at your car. They shot at your body. Because you live in here with me. They shot at your body. The World Economic Forum trying to starve you. You made this water. It's stealing your waters. You made the sky and the sun and the moon. They blocking out your sun. And see, when you get to that understanding, that intimacy, where it's like, no, big guy, hold on. Hey, excuse me. I know there's a lot going on up there, but there's some people out here who claim they're God. Yeah, they say they're God. They say they own everything. Now, that's not what your word says. That's not what your word says. Your word says the heavens of the heavens belong to God, but the earth belongeth to the children of men. But then your word also says the earthness and the fullness thereof is the Lord. So there's a little bit of I know that you've given dominion, but Lord, they can't do this because this belongs to you. You understand, big guy? I know. Hello, anybody home? You just ringing the doorbell. Ding dong, ding dong. You ever had somebody come in the house just keep on ringing the bell? The little kid ringing the bell. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding. That's intimacy. Intimacy is you ringing his doorbell over and over and over, knowing that he ain't gonna run out of patience, knowing that he got love and he got mercy. You just ringing the doorbell. Ding dong, 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 ding. In fact, I got 7 minutes before I go to ring the doorbell again. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding. Hey, anybody up there? Just don't be surprised when he start answering. You got to be I call him being a harasser. I don't mind harassing the Lord. No, sir. I don't mind harassing them whatsoever. I don't mind harassing them whatsoever. And neither should you. Let's let him finish talking. He gonna go through the Lamborghini thing. Don't lose your mind over the Lamborghini. This is who the man is. He be wilding. That's why I like him though. I want a Lamborghini. But what I don't want is I don't want nobody to give me no Lamborghini. I want to earn the money to get me a Lamborghini. But before I get the Lamborghini, I got to lose weight because I'm going to mess up the suspension. So it don't make no sense to get a Lamborghini because I tear up the suspension on a Lamborghini.
He knows what a house feels like through my body. My body, a body you prepared for me. So I know what you're thinking. So God has a dream to live in a house, but he has no house because your body has refused to have a house. No, I know you missed that one. So It's like if he has never driven a car, right? That means his body, okay, he drives a car, so relax. If he has never owned a car, that means his body has never been used by God to drive a car and to own one. So God in his life in this body is disadvantaged. If I have never raised the dead, yet a body has thou prepared for me. The body came in, and Jesus stepped into that body and entered in there and healed using the hands of that body. That means that body was prepared to do miracles, but yours was prepared for Jesus to be poor inside. You are the one who makes Jesus poor with your body. God desires to test a house using you. Maybe you're not getting this. If you live in a village yourself, one village, everyone else knows you are the Christian, everyone is a sinner. But because you fail to appropriate the revelation we give you, everyone in that location will think their God is better than yours.
Now, that's where it's that. Oh my God, that's where he keep it really real. This is where you get to the World Economic Forum lizard people. This is where you get to the Satanists. This is where you get to the technocrats that like the Elon Musk. You see, because and I'm going to add we in this, because we feel that carrying power, real power, they think that their God and their technology is better than our God. I'm just going to keep it real with you. They think that their knowledge and understanding is better than the knowledge of God. But he's inside all these different vessels down here, looking for ways to shine forth his glory. But because we don't have the power, then it's just like, okay, whatever, those Christians don't mean anything. Oh, another Christian coming here talking, and then they can't do nothing. And in fact, I'll go so far to say this to you. For a witch to run into a Christian with power that has any kind of power, they're like, oh my God, this person's a witch. It's so like rare to them. The only thing they can think of is you a witch. Because like, oh, I did this, and he ain't died. He must be a witch. Oh, we did this, and he ain't go down. He must be a witch. They wicked. It never crosses their mind. No, this person actually may be one of God's sons. That never crosses their mind. See, if we had men in authority that had actual real power, not military might power, not the ability to blow things up. I'm talking about that ability to blow things up, and when you walk into the room, the lights explode power. Everybody will bow down to America. Everybody be like, nope, your God is the God we need to worship. These Muslims will be coming here with this foolishness. If we could call down fire upon their damn temples, their mosques, and they saw fire coming out of the sky, boom, 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 burning up their temple, they'd be like, oh, no, Jesus is the Lord. I want to repent. Jesus is the Lord. Therein lies the problem. It's an issue of power. Power.
The idea is, as you're sitting there, God has prepared a body. But if you're not married now, because you're failing to appropriate the principles and give them space in your life, what then becomes of God who wants you to be married and enjoy a marriage with the body that he prepared for himself, which is you? Isaiah 7:13. And he said, hear ye now, O house of David, is it a small thing for you? Listen to this, please read it. For you to weary men, but will you weary my God also? Will you will my goat also? But you will. Now watch this. Therefore, the Lord himself shall give you a sign. Behold, hear this, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son. This is Jesus, right? You shall call his name what? Emmanuel. Now let's go to verse number 15. It gives you the diet of Jesus. Butter and honey shall ye eat, that he may know to refuse evil and choose good. In other words, the Bible is not saying the spiritual, listen to this, it's not saying the spiritual discernment will come from the Holy Spirit only, but from the diet. Okay. He shall have good food so that he can get discernment. So sometimes lack of discernment is I don't have discernment. What did you eat? Now it leaves.
Glad Prophet Even Angel touched on that. And we need to circle back to one of the men that I still struggle with why his ass ain't in prison. I'm sorry. That is Bill Gates. I struggle with the fact that why Donald Trump has not locked up Bill Gates, why Bill Gates is coming to the White House. I struggle with that one. I do. I truly struggle with that one. But if eating the wrong type of food can affect your discernment, your spiritual discernment, which we know is true, what about eating food that's not actually food? What about becoming a cannibal because they're feeding you food that is lab grown based upon cancer cells of a dead black woman or a dead little child? It's one bloodline, one zombie line that they use to grow the food is a dead black woman's cancer cells. The other one is this dead kid's cancer cells. They're immortal cells that never die. Henrietta Lacks, I think is the lady's name. I forgot the guy's name. The point I'm making is why they want to turn you into a cannibal where you're eating human flesh, actually eating pus and disease. I can tell you why, because they want to cut you off from God. That's why. And Bill Gates is the main one that's doing this. And this is where, man.
Microsoft founder Bill Gates is the largest private owner of American farmland. Gates alone holds over 275,000 acres across 19 states. National Black Farmers Association President John Boyd Jr. joins us now. John, so great to have you on. So I'm sure you put a lot of thought into this. Why do you think Bill Gates is buying up all this land?
Well, one is greed, and it's running America's family farm is off family land. Basically, we can't buy the land once Bill Gates moves into the area. For example, his data center is right next door here, and since he's located in Boynton, Virginia, land prices have went through the roof, $15,000-$20,000 an acre. What farmer do you know that can pay that kind of money per acre? Off anything that we can grow on the farm. He doesn't do anything when he comes into these areas to support community-based organizations or invest back into these communities. That's what's hurting America right now.
Yeah.
And what he's trying to do now in the food industry is the same thing that they've done with seeds. You know, when they put genetically modified seeds in, and now he wants to do that with beef. But you know, America's farmers are proud farmers. And I'm asking Americans not to support fake meat, but to support farmers out here who grow beef like I do and poultry and pork. Support America's farmers and not support Bill Gates and this mega theory and mindset that he has.
Yeah.
It's really called greed.
Yeah, no, and by the way, it's not just Bill Gates. The Chinese also gobbling up a lot of American farmland. You talked about pork. The Chinese own the biggest pork processing plant. Brazil does too, but China, I think, owns multiple of them. It's not good for our economy, and it's not good for the small farmer. You know, I'm thinking about all of these problems, right? They're trying to push synthetic meat on us. They're messing with the seeds, as you talk about, with these genetically modified seeds. And it doesn't appear that Congress or government is doing enough to stop China from buying the land, to stop Bill Gates from doing these things. So what should the people who are watching the show right now, what should be their response? Should they be buying up land? Should they be learning to farm so that they can secure, their own food supply for their own families?
Absolutely. And I just visited 39 townships around the country, urging small family farmers to start growing small plots of food in their backyard, raise healthy foods that they know that are safe to consume. And if you grow it, and it tastes different from the food that you buy in the supermarket. It's fresh, it's good, it's wholesome. Those are the things that we're going to have to do. And if you can afford a new Mercedes-Benz or a Cadillac or SUV, you can afford 5 acres in the country, people. So start investing in rural America. Start supporting small family farmers around there. Guess what? They can start buying beef from a small-scale farmer. I've raised 150 head of beef cattle here, and I can tell you right now, it's nothing fake about it. And I'm proud of the product that leaves Boyd's Farm. And all of our farmers right here in America feel the same way. And we see right now we're getting bullied by China and people like Bill Gates who are coming in to our area. And you spoke about China. They come into these auctions and they have someone bidding for them. And again, they're buying these farms at auctions, running the prices through the roof with no oversight from this administration. And there's been no oversight or I've requested meetings time and time again on your show to meet with the president and talk about these very, very important issues. And our requests fell upon deaf ears.
I think this is one of the most important issues facing America. I'm really glad you're drawing attention to it. It's also a health issue. It doesn't just taste better, John. It's better for you to eat natural and not all this synthetic stuff that Bill Gates and wants to put down, or even from these giant giant processing plants. You're right. I buy my pork and my beef from a local farmer near me. That's the way to do it. That's the safest, healthiest way. John, thank you for coming, for bringing attention to this, but also reminding people it just takes a few acres and you can have your own food supply.
Hey, don't it make sense? Don't it make sense? Don't it make damn sense? I tell you, I struggle with the Bill Gates thing. I really do. I truly struggle with when Bill Gates went to go meet with Donald Trump, I struggle with it. I struggle when he did the round table with Donald Trump. I struggle with it. And yeah, I struggle with that thing. That's a thing that I struggle with because that man has made it clear he wants to kill us. And then someone will say, oh, well, James, what you're saying about the prophet with the butter and the honey, that's not what he was saying, blah, 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 blah. Well, Bill Gates takes it verbatim. Bill Gates takes that verbatim. Don't believe me? Just watch. Because these wicked people understand that the Bible is real. These wicked people actually have studied the word of God, and they studied it so that they can pervert your life. So they can make you come into sin, iniquity, and transgression that you don't even know and understand exists because you never took the time to crack open the Bible, or you went to a church that serves coffee instead of the word of the Lord. They have gourmet coffee and biscuits, but they don't give the word. They give you gourmet coffee and biscuits in a motivational speech and then talk about today was a great day and this, but there's no fire in the church. No fire whatsoever.
It looks, smells, and tastes like the butter we're all familiar with, but without the farmland, fertilizers, or emissions tied to that typical process. And this butter breakthrough, it's happening right here in Batavia.
In the middle of an industrial park in a suburb west of Chicago, something unprecedented is happening.
So you're using this gas right now to cook your food. And we're proposing that we would like to first make your food with that gas.
The company is called Savor, and you better believe it. Their pioneering tech uses carbon and hydrogen to make the stick of butter you see on this plate.
This is pretty novel to be able to make food that looks and tastes and feels exactly like dairy butter, but with no agriculture whatsoever.
And no long ingredient list the average person can't pronounce.
I want you to notice how she has this non-human look to her. I want you to notice the look on her face. I'm gonna turn the vibe. No, I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna mute myself. I want you to just pay attention to the look on her face. Just look at it. Look like something that's not human. And then they do that sing song with something that's not butter, and the butter's on the plate, and you got to get your butter. Let me tell you something. If I ever meet you, and you walk up on me like, hey, James, you're Doc Waters, and I like your show, and I've been watching your show for 10 years, and I really like you, and I want to get your autograph, I'm going to smack the piss out you. You can tell it right now, I'm smacking the piss out you because I'm like, use an alien. Whoop-ah! Whoop-ah! I'm hitting you. Because don't come up to me singing, man. Don't come up to me singing and rhyming like you in a nursery school and the butter and they're in nursery school. Like they was born out of it. They was put in a test tube and somebody played nursery rhymes to them all the way till they was 20 years old. And the butter and the classical butter and man.
It's really just our fat, some water, a little bit of lecithin as an emulsifier, and some natural flavor and color.
How? Fats are made up of carbon and hydrogen chains. The goal here? Replicate those chains without animals or plants. And they did it. They tell me to simplify. They take carbon dioxide from the air and hydrogen from water, heat them up and oxidize them. The final result?
It looks like a wax, like a candle wax at first.
But they're fat molecules, like the ones in beef, cheese, or vegetable oils.
Sustainability is why we are here.
It's all done releasing 0 greenhouse gases, using no farmland to feed cows.
We're not at full capacity in this facility yet.
And even though we're standing in a factory setting,
And in addition to the carbon footprint being much lower for a process like this, right, the land footprint is 1,000 times lower than what you need in traditional agriculture.
I know what you're thinking.
I think we need to taste it. I would love for you to taste this.
How does it taste?
I love butter, so I'm going to take a really healthy amount.
Admittedly, surprisingly, like butter.
Cheers. We're tasting butter.
Another reason they say this makes an impact, no palm oil, a significant contributor to deforestation and climate change. That's not all. Of the 51 billion tons of greenhouse gases emitted every year, 7% is from the production of fats and oils from animals and plants.
We don't need to listen to no more of them explain to you why they're going to kill you and give you fake food. Now, I'm going to tell you, if you go to the Aldi, restore Aldi, all that stuff in that fake. Just flip over the bag of the packages in Aldi. My son would go to Aldi, and I called him because I was watching videos like, son, you need to go in your kitchen. He was like, yeah. I said, flip over the back of your package. Read what's on the back of that. And he said, man, all this stuff fake. Man, I'm throwing this crap away, threw all of it away, went back to the store, got some more stuff. They want you to be genetically modified. If you eating, are you still human if your body is eating stuff that non-humans eat? And over time, does that make you less human if you eat non-human things? I tell you one thing for sure. If you sitting there eating fake butter, when you can go get some real butter, you got low ass IQ. That's one thing you got. You got real low IQ. It's one problem that you got on here. You got super low IQ. Whoever it is. Don't go out there and eat fake meat and fake butter intentionally. Sorry. Hold on. We need to go back to Prophet Hubert Angel. Hold on. Boy, it's hard to spaz and then come back like this. Hold on.
Gives out the diet, but look at what he says. He's telling you that inside there is a child. That means a body was prepared of a woman who is a virgin. She tarried as a virgin. You see, the miracle of Mary is simple. She wasn't dating all men. Anyone go, Mary. Aye. No, Mary will run. Mary will be running. There are some sins in the Bible that just say flee. They say, baby. Hey, sweet little mama. Flee from all appearance. Yes, sir. problem with you in tarrying is you are tarrying the wrong side. You are giving too much attention to the devil, and if you give the devil attention, he will give you direction. Are you hearing? I speak to somebody here. I'm moving you to first class. A life that is for people who have tarried, sir. There is a first class in the spirit. There is a business lounge in the spirit. There is an economy in the spirit, sir. I pray by the authority of the spirit that everyone in this place right now receives splendor of grace to see many things happen.
A good news world with Hubert Angel, provoking a reaction and always worth hearing.
I love me some Hubert Angel. You should too. Every man of God that I've shown you in the late night video, I'm telling you, you should watch him at every opportunity you get. Every opportunity you get. YouTube messed up my algorithm because they hit me with this foolishness where they wouldn't let me watch videos for 48 hours. Let me disclose to you why they did this. Because let me take his logo off of there. I'd rather have his face up there. Let me find a good image of him.
Okay.
Hold on.
This is Yada.
We're going to use him right there when he's talking about Yada, which is experiential knowledge of God. God knowing you is when you call him Yada. Not Abba, Yada. Abba is when you cry out Father. Yada means he knows me. But anyway, let me stop. You know, the reason why I went to the YouTube timeout was because, you see, Alex Jones put out this documentary called Endgame. And so when you go through Endgame and you go through the Endgame with scripture, Endgame lights up. Kind of like a pinball machine. Remember how you play a pinball machine, go bing, bing. You had the little two things on the side. You go boom, 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 boom. And the ball comes in, ding, 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 ding. And you score. Well, when you go to Endgame and you go and you open the Bible and you look at what's there and you go through Revelations and you relate it to what's going on in Endgame, it's like bing, 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 bing. So I did one 15-minute segment of playing pinball. And boy, YouTube lost his mind. That's when I realized, no, you see, they got that documentary on some kind of like AI automatic detection. So now I got to switch to my ground game. I didn't want to switch to my ground game because he had done the groundwork. And so now I'm working on it, but I got to switch to my ground game. Because all that footage that he used for that whole video has been tainted in their system. So now I got to switch to my ground game. So I'm now behind the scenes, I'm sitting here playing ping ball going ping, 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 ping. You don't see it. Ping, 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 ping. It's a little bit harder. But I took it personally like Michael Jordan when they put me in timeout. I took that personally. Yeah, I took it personally. Sure the hell did. I took it personally. Don't be putting me in timeout because I'm trying to tell you the truth. I took it personally. And I'm going to take it out on some people. Trust me, watch that. I'm going to take it out. On a positive note, Pam Bondi about to go. Pam Bondi about to go. You can see it coming through the door. Pam Bondi about to go. Yeah, and on a positive note, Pam Bondi about to go. President Donald J. Trump today. Pam. I have reviewed over 30 statements and posts saying that essentially the same old story as last time. All talk and no action. Nothing is being done. What about Comey? What about Adam Shifty Schiff? What about Letitia? They're all guilty as hell, but nothing is going to be done. Then we almost put in a Democrat supporting U.S. attorney in Virginia with a really bad Republican past. A woke rhino who was never going to do his job. That's why two of the worst Dem senators pushed him so hard. He even lied to the media and said he quit and that we had no case. Now, I fired him, and there is a great case. And many lawyers and legal pundits say so. Lindsey Halligan is a really good lawyer and likes you a lot. We can't delay any longer. It's killing our reputation and credibility. They impeached me twice and indicted me 5 times over nothing. Justice must be served now. President Donald J. Trump. Oh, I said earlier in the longer version of this video, you may be getting the short version of this video. I said earlier, hold on. Let me put Pam Bondi on the screen. Let me put Pam Bondi on the screen. Hold on. Earlier, I was in the video and I was talking about Tim Pool. This goes back to the Tim Pool issue. This goes directly to the issue why people like Tim Pool, Candace Owens, and all these people know that they are in danger, including absolutely including Alex Jones, people such as myself. We know when we come to talk to you, we're in danger. Because all it takes is the right psychopath within the government structure to see the video, and then for the right demonic spirit to be on that psychopath and be like, I hate them, they shall die. And then they pick up the case, and then they go searching through your life to find anything wrong that you've done. And then next thing you know, they're putting hit squads out on you. I have said this, going back to Tim Pool, Candace Owens, all the rest of them. The simple fact that we have not seen a resolution to what happened to Charlie Kirk is because of people like Pam, Cash, Dan Bongino, Ty Blanche, and all them other people. And because there's no resolution, there's no defense, there's no victory, everybody think we weak. The deep state like, nah, we could touch them anytime we want to. We could do whatever we can. You can get touched at will because ain't nobody gonna do nothing about it. So Donald Trump comes out and he checks Pam Bondi again. This is his third time getting that Pam. Pam probably gonna be out of here. I'm pretty sure Pam gonna be out of here. Now I don't have no insight. I don't have no inside information. I don't have inside baseball. Want to be clear to the deep state guy who be like, well, man, you know, he's be sensing things, and maybe I don't have no inside baseball. Ain't nobody I'm talking to. Well, I do talk to somebody. His name is Jesus. He got all the inside baseball, but I don't have inside baseball from nobody's administration. But it's clear, based upon the patterns of Donald J. Trump, that this woman about to go. I said it 6 months ago. He should have scalped her and gave everybody the scalp. But Donald doesn't want to give scalps to the media. I get it, but not giving us a scalp. And he looked at it as if he was giving a scalp to the media. He was giving a scalp to MAGA. And so now we got, I'm America first and screw MAGA, I'm MAGA, and this, because the real problem is nobody got a scalp. Now, even now, if you give them the scalp of Pam Bondi, they still not going to care because they've already splintered away from you. And they're going to feel like, okay, we're going to put this pressure on them. It's kind of late for the scalp, but the scalp needs to be given because at the end of the day, she needs to go. The scalp should have been given in the time allotted for the scalp given. Just like the Cash Patel scalp should have been taken and given during the time period when you didn't get the results. The point I'm making, ladies and gentlemen, is Pam about to go, and it's a great thing. How it affects the overall battlefield, I think it's kind of late for it. I think actually it'll be, at one point in time, it was the optimum moment to, we done, because you ain't doing your job. Now it'll be, oh, thank God she's going great. Now the next person needs to go. Like you could have systematically gave the scalps to where you kept all your people in line, right? But we got beyond that. We got into the danger zone. My way to the danger zone. Don't. My way to the danger zone. That's what we got. We're in a danger zone right now. And it's dangerous because of all kind of reasons. It's dangerous because we surrounding Venezuela right now, cutting off all their drug money. Hold on. Yeah, we're going to come over to Mike Lindell TV. Yeah. I need to hold on. While we talking, I need to follow me some Mike Lindell TV. Hold on. Give me a second. Because I ain't never followed Mike Lindell TV. Yeah. Now let me go back to what we was looking at. You see, here we go. You see what's going on right here in the Caribbean? That right there is what I would call Operation Dry Up They Bread. That's what it really is. It's Operation Dry Up They Bread. Because you know all the money coming from the drug trafficking and drug smuggling. That's how you know they're allowed to smuggle the drugs and everything into this nation. Then, in the words of my prayer partner Byron Cagle, he will say, hey, James, you know what the real deal with that drug trafficking and that human trafficking is, right? And I'd be like, no. Let me help y'all something. When you know somebody know what they talking about and they ask you, do you know? You say, no, I don't know. Don't try to act like you know. Say, no, I don't know. And then he'll go on and explain that how the Rothschild banking group was the ones that said they was going to stop slavery and stop drug trafficking. But no, what they did was they made it to where they was the only ones that could traffic slaves and traffic drugs. So what you're looking at is Donald J. Trump going directly at the neck of the Rothschild bankers. That's what you see him doing. You see him going directly at the neck of the cabal, directly at the neck of the deep state, going for the jugular vein, ladies and gentlemen. That's what's going on in Venezuela. That's why they're so upset about Pete Hegseth, because he is going for the jugular vein, ladies and gentlemen. And he was like, okay, Maduro, you could just leave and we could put somebody else in there. You can stop messing with our elections and we can shut off the drug trade. Maduro's like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm Maduro. Don't go anywhere. You will not run me. Then the next day he'll have a meltdown. This is how you can tell when somebody's in fear. One day they're brave. The next day they're having a meltdown. Please, Donald, don't blow me up. Donald, no, please, Donald. American people, war is bad. War is bad. I'm sorry I murdered all of your children with drugs and I rigged your election and gave you Joe Biden. And I'm sorry that I brought all the illegal aliens in and all the children been raped. But war is bad. And then the next day he'll be tough. We're going to stand up to Donald Trump. Then the next day, I've seen it before. Fake tough guys. They get to talking about you. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And then you say something, they be like, he's at me. Ooh, boy, it's funny to see that. It's hilarious to see that. I'm sorry. So what's going on in Venezuela right now is the shutting down of their drug trafficking lanes, which is shutting down the money. And they're shutting down on Cayman account money. All the illicit trafficking is being shut down. And that is where the war is fought. The NGOs have been shut down. The money from inside the U.S. government has been shut down. All that money that they were trafficking through the government, through NGOs and USAID has been cut off, right? So that faucet is turned off. And you saw when that faucet of USAID was turned off, you saw where it was like, oh, they stopped protesting and they stopped doing this. Now what Donald's trying to do is turn off the main faucet. You know how you had the main line outside the house? You know what I'm saying? He went in the kitchen and turned off the faucet there. Then he went in the bathrooms under the sink and turned off the faucet there. Then he turned off the toilets. He turned off the water. Now he going to the main faucet outside, the main valve outside in the yard to turn that bad boy off. So when you see him doing this, he going to the main line. Jesus on the main line. Tell him what you want. Oh, Jesus on the main line. Tell him what you want. Jesus on the main line. Tell him what you want. Oh, call him up and tell him what you want. Hey. If you ever find yourself in a season of warfare where people coming at you, I want you to go get that song, Jesus on the main line. Tell them what you want. And then I want you to go to a room by yourself and I want you to put it on. And I just want you to dance. And you're going to dance until you can't dance no more. Then you're going to fall down. You're going to be breathing hard like this. And then you're going to get up and you're going to dance again. Till you fall down. Then you're going to get up and you're going to dance again. Till you can't walk. When you get to the point to where you done dance till you can't walk, you're going to lay on the ground and you're going to move your hands and your arms. You're going to exhaust your whole energy in praising the Lord. You're going to exhaust yourself. You're going to be to the point where it's like, and then when you wake up in the morning, I want you to just go look at your enemy. I want you to go look at whoever that enemy is. Just go look and keep looking. Like Sade. Keep looking. Keep looking at that enemy. Don't take your eye off them. Don't say nothing to them. Just keep looking. And keep looking. And then eventually you're going to start to see. You'll be like, damn. They got mollywopped. They got skull dragged through the mall. It's been bad out here in these streets.
It looks like it's heating up in the Caribbean. After a multi-day port call at St. Thomas Island in the Caribbean, the USS Gerald Ford aircraft carrier has been dispatched to the waters just off the coast of Venezuela. They'll join multiple U.S. Navy destroyers, a U.S. Marine amphibious assault vessel, and a Los Angeles-class attack submarine armed with Tomahawk cruise missiles. This comes after multiple open-source intelligence accounts on X reported that 6 airborne U.S. refueling aircraft linked to B-52 bombers have taken off. And after thousands of U.S. Marines landed in Puerto Rico and began practicing landing missions in Venezuela like jungle environments. One thing's clear here, folks. These aren't just exercises. It has been decades since the U.S. Southern Command has done anything, anywhere near these levels of assets in their area of responsibility, and it is the largest U.S. military buildup since the invasion of Iraq in 2003, as we said the other day. Our next guest, the senior national security editor at the National Interest, Brandon J. Weichert, tweeted this out last night saying, quote, GPS down in Venezuela and Trinidad, pre-TAC underway. Brandon joins us now. He's also the host of the National Security Hour, which airs every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern on iHeartRadio networks. Brandon, so this GPS going down is a key signal. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so basically, and thanks for having me as always. Basically, it's usually a precursor to a larger military operation. Basically, we want to do is create a blackout of those GPS signals, so Venezuela's armed forces and their missiles and their weapons can't operate as well as they would under normal conditions. Interestingly, there's some people online who are saying they actually think Maduro himself is creating the blackout in order to try to prevent our forces from using GPS over Venezuelan target areas. But in either event, I think we're probably the ones doing it more likely. But in either event, this is usually a very serious indicator, Emerald, that a larger military operation is now well underway, and you'll start seeing the bombs dropping soon enough.
Meanwhile, inside Venezuela, while on American soil, one of Maduro's closest people roll to the Donald Trump administration, giving him the information he needs and where the bodies are buried. Meanwhile, inside of Venezuela, I guess the personal guard said they're willing to die for their president. I hope they do realize that bombs over Baghdad will happen to them. And the thing about Donald that's different than everybody else, like all the other presidents, they want war because war makes money. No, he wants war for an objective. That's why you see it taking him so long to bomb anybody, because he understands how to use power. He understands that you don't go around just killing people unless you got to. But when you decide that you're going to kill people, you kill them and you kill them dead. So if I was these dudes right here, I would leave. I would be like, all right, we leaving. Because when he kill us, he's going to kill us dead. That's why the media had a problem when PDX said, they was like, yeah, he had a double tap. No, you're supposed to kill him and kill him dead. It's like somebody breaking in your house and then you shooting them in the leg and then shooting them in the shoulder. And then I'm calling the police. No, you broke my house. I'm killing you dead. You're going to be dead. You're not going to have a chance to tell your side of the story. You dead, dog. You dead. Well, that's not right. Now you shouldn't have broken my house where my family is. I'm killing you dead.
5.600 combatientes revolucionarios, socialistas y hoy más que nunca profundamente chavistas, entrenados bajo el método táctico de resistencia revolucionaria en perfecta fusión popular militar policial. Sepa usted, mi mayor general, que estos combatientes, estos hombres y mujeres que hoy nos encontramos en formación, le demostraremos al país, le demostraremos al mundo entero que Venezuela se respeta. Venezuela tiene una fuerza armada junto al pueblo, fusionada, adiestrada, entrenada, moralizada. Por ninguna circunstancia permitiremos la invasión de un imperio. Si la patria nos necesita.
He don't sound like he real dedicated to what he's saying. He sound like he reading that off a piece of paper. He sounds scared to death. You right, you should be scared to death. That green face paint ain't gonna hide you from these missiles. Nothing gonna hide you from these missiles, man. Them missiles is going up your bum hole. What you need to do is go and tell your man, say, hey, look, dog. Look, I know you the leader and all, but they finna run missiles up everybody bum holes, and I'm not gonna abandon you, but I just want to strongly suggest that you abandon us and go about your business. That you leave so we can surrender. And I ain't gonna lie, if I was the president of Venezuela, I would roll. Yeah. Everybody know he working with Russia. Everybody know he working with China. Everybody know he was working with Clinton and the globalists, and he was trafficking dope. I would have rolled, and I'd have gave up all my generals, and I'd have gave up all the infrastructure, and I'd have went to Israel like everybody else do, that do dirt against America and be safe. I ran up to Israel and hit up in there. That's where everybody go that screw us over. They run to Israel. Watch, Zelensky about to get put out of power, and he gonna run right there to Israel. Everybody run to Israel. That's where they go. To hide amongst our greatest ally. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this video is going on 2 hours and 30 minutes. We've been talking for 2 hours and 30 minutes, and I'm a little bit late for my prayer time. So I'm gonna have to stop this because I need to go pray. And I shouldn't even been going this long. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Hey, before you go, I'm getting ready to start rolling out my books again. I want to show you one of these books. Hold on. Here it is, the Father Walker series, The Water Boy. Now, this is a fictional story and I wanted to do some fictional stories, but I wanted to do them with my own Louisiana boy twist. So check it out. You can get it on Amazon. I want to say it's like $3.99 for you to get the ebook. Show me some love. Now, what I'm going to tell you is this. I have this backlog of content that are story content that some of it I never revealed in audio format. If you go through this channel, you can listen to this channel. There are certain videos still left over where you can listen to the storytelling. The storytelling, that's what I'm known for, like world known for. But I don't want to tell stories about monsters anymore because it's just like once you get to the bottom of the stuff about monsters, you realize it's all demons, and the people who get involved in it end up getting demonized, and then you got to deal with all these stupid, overweight, demonized nacho people. You know, I'm not interested in dealing with that because somebody gonna get hurt. So here's where we stand on it. All that content is going into books, and I've talked to thousands of eyewitnesses and spent hours upon hours of hours talking to people. So all that content is going in books. Everything I have is going into books. Like even stuff like this that I sat there and recorded that was supposed to be a story, like my first fictional series, which is about Father Walker, who's a priest that moves into Chicago and starts to solve murders in the neighborhood. Great story, great book. Check it out. It's $3.99. If you got Kindle Reads, you could just read it on your own. But just, I'm telling you, go and check, because every day there's going to be another one and another one and another one, because that's how much content I actually have and it pertains to this. And it's just sitting there doing nothing. And so it needs to go. It needs to go out. And so now I'm dumping. When I tell you I'm going when it comes to this. So Father Walk is the first one. There's another one coming out called Don't Look Behind You. Then Cable Guy's another one that's coming. Like they coming now. Like not later, now, and it's gonna be one after the next, after the next, after the next, after the next. So head on over, show me support, show me some love. In the next week or so, my merch will be prepared and ready to go. The problem with merch is I'm not really with that whack. Like I've had merch before, and it was like a shirt that you wash and it shrink. And I was like, yo, I don't really feel good about like selling people this crap. Like it shrinks. Like I bought my shirt, washed it one time, and it shrunk to like 2 sizes. Like this is poop. So I had to find somebody that could teach me how to do it where I got good merch. That's coming. You know what I'm saying? And there's a whole bunch of other stuff coming down the pipeline. So, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only James Williams Darkwaters, I'm out of here. Pick up a copy of the book. If you got Kindle Unlimited, you can just download it and start reading it today. All right, deuces. Hit the like button too, man. Peace.